everyone! Welcome to Encounter Roleplay. Welcome to Friday Fun Day, as I like to call it. Welcome to the beautiful cast of Judge Dredd in the Wilds of 2000 AD. Joined now officially by Susanna Grace and Judge Judy. So I'm going to start over with you, madam. Welcome in.
Madam! Hi, everybody. I'm glad to be back. They tried to get rid of me, but I said no. Judy stays. And here she is. Like, she's got out and everything now, so it's like official. So try and get rid of me. But I'm real hyped to get back into the shenanigans and see what's going on here at Freedom Falls. I'm sure it's going to be absolutely fine.
And the person who seems to know what is going on and is terrified of it, and rightly so, Producer Trav. Hello, sir.
Yes, I borrowed my wife's eyeliner pencil. No, I didn't screw the cap on tight enough. No, I don't want to talk about it. Welcome back, Susie. You try to get out, but they pull you back in. Playing Judge Reinhold today, who should be watching Blansky's Beauties in the common room of Yeager's home for traumatized ex-side judges, and then catch Murder, She Wrote at 6. But instead, he was kidnapped by another judge and forced back into the action. So let's get it on.
And always willing to be on the team and help everyone out, bringing us together, Judge Talon, played by Clara Cord.
Hi.
How are you doing?
I'm doing all right. I'm doing good. Ready for the weekend. Got some plans. I've got Peaky Blinders to finish up tonight, which I'm really excited about because I'm finally getting around to watching it. But yeah, Talon is ready. The people are being fed for the most part. She's needs to do some cooking. I think she's missed a few batches of her special recipe and ready to get going.
And I am, of course, Charlie here at Encounter Roleplay, and I'm playing Judge Waits, who got set on fire from the inside last week, but we'll talk about that later. Let's pop on up to another side judge in office, the wonderful Judge Freeman, played by Shauna, Flying Cirrus. How are you doing?
Doing good. I'm happy to be back here with this crew and part of the old crew with Susanna and Judge Judy. And I'm pretty sure, you know what? We don't have enough creepy psychic stuff, so Judge Freeman's back. I'm happy to see where it's going.
And usually in the middle of the trouble, the meddler, he's an ape, not a monkey. Judge Grease, played by Zippy Zippo. How you doing, friend?
I am doing great. I'm a chimp. Thank you. I'm just kidding. Hi, I'm Zippy Zippo. I'm playing Judge Grease, and I'm going to have a great time causing some mayhem, and I hope you guys are ready to Brando.
And she is the law. She is the keeper of the rules and the keeper of the mayhem. It is, of course, Virginia, Tabletop Horde, our game master for tonight. Hi, friend.
Hi. I'm so pleased to be back. I'm so glad that Susie could stay on with us, because I think having Judy around is going to be very interesting. Now we've got some of the old crew and the new crew, so this will be good. I have been waiting for this all week. My terrible evil plans.
It brought the crews together in this ultimate mini campaign of Judge Dredd in the Wilds of 2000 AD. But before we dive into tonight, why don't I queue up past Charlie and then hand over to her so she can tell you all about our sponsors tonight. Before we begin today's show, I would like to take some time to remind you about our sponsors. Fantasy Grounds, our virtual tabletop of choice. All of the beautiful maps and roles you see tonight are done using Fantasy Grounds, which you can try for free at fantasygrounds.com. You can also get all of your miniatures from Wayland Games. Go to waylandgames.co.uk and get yourself a huge range of D&D, Warhammer and 40k minis for up to 20% off regular retail price. And Tabletop Loot, who sell incredible dice. Go and check them out at tabletoploot.com. So there you have it. Please do go and check out our sponsors, Tabletop Loot, Fantasy Grounds, and Wayland Games. And Wayland Games.co.uk. I'm so excited. I can just sense that tonight we're going to be blowing stuff up. And I feel like we've had shootouts on Judge Dredd. we've kind of burnt down the arcade. We haven't really blown anything up yet in the same way that the OG crew blew things up. But now we've got the powder keg that is Judy and the spark that is Fremont, and it's gonna be on. Virginia, why don't you tell us a little bit more about tonight's game while I go and link to the wonderful Judge Dredd so that people at home can check it out.
Okay, so last week we returned back to Freedom Falls, the terrible mega block that featured in the first campaign that I did of this last year, where our judges were sent in on an initiative to try and clean up the block a little bit, but without much help or support. They succeeded in taking down the gangs that were ruling the block and freeing some people trapped on some upper levels, but were left with the mystery of the psychic Shay, who was an ex-judge believed to have been killed a few years back while part of a task force on that block. And she appeared as a strange antagonist to Judge Reinhold and several other members of our crew, but ultimately at the end helped them find the leader of the anti-militia to take him down, but they could never find her, sending Judge Reinhold unfortunately into a spiral that he hasn't yet quite pulled out of. And last week we saw Judge Judy and Judge Waits pulled into the office of a senior judge and told to get the crew back together because side judges on patrols through the mega block had been going missing. And they were concerned that perhaps Judge Reinhold's story of this mysterious psychic judge still wreaking havoc was true. Judge Waits stunning and capturing Judge Reinhold and basically dragging him to Freedom Falls was also met up with Talon and Grease, while Judge Judy waited behind and had a very strange experience, having one too many drinks, feeling a little bit drunk, seeing a judge being dragged away who perhaps wasn't there, firing a shot that never went off, and seemingly returning to being sober, all while hearing a strange voice in the back of her head that she's sure was hers. Or was it? And that's where we are at the moment. Of course, we do have Judge Tetley, for anyone who's worried. Tetley is still here. But I want to start today off with the judge who isn't currently at Freedom Falls, Judge Fremont. Judge Fremont, tell me, earlier this morning, what were you doing on your shift? It's a day like any other day.
I think she's been doing her rounds. She's been with the special judicial squad trying to ferret out rogue judges. And I think she's just on her route trying to make sure, like, doing light kind of probing of all the judges around, giving them their review as they go about their business, trying to ferret out any corruption within the ranks.
So this is where you were assigned after Freedom Falls. What else has Fremont been doing this last year? It's been a year since the task force was officially kind of disbanded. With it not being needed anymore, regular patrols could now go through Freedom Falls. What else has Fremont been up to?
I think she's been mostly doing that, like, thing in her work, but she's been, I think, along with Waits, kind of mentoring that child that we found in Freedom Falls, the psychic child, as well as a single appearance on Judge Judy's program, which was a disaster because she's not necessarily the best face to put on for public outreach for the judges, and mostly probably terrified people.
But the view numbers were high because we all know that people love to be terrified as much as they love to be entertained. So you've just been hard at work for the year then with the judicial squad, and you have rooted out a couple of rogue judges. Your talents have not been misplaced, but it's this morning where we find you, I imagine, back at HQ, kind of walking around, doing the rounds, chatting to people, doing what it is you've been tasked to do, that you are called into a senior judge's office. You don't even get the name of the judge. You just get given a room number to go to. And when you arrive, the door is closed. You knock, and you're asked to enter. Sitting behind the desk is an older woman, You can see she has lines on her face that show she has worked for most of her life. And she is silent as you enter. You recognize this woman. You don't know her name, you've never been given it, but you have seen her before in meetings with the Judicial Squad. You know that she works in looking for corruption within the judges, among probably several other things. So you know her by name, not by name, sorry, you know her by face rather than by name. And she looks up at you. Judge Fremont.
Sir.
I'm afraid your colleagues have already been told this, but you were completing important work that I didn't want disturbed. The On the Block initiative is back together.
Problem Freedom Falls again? I thought we cleared that out.
It seems that Judge Reinhold's story has some weight to it. As you know, we've been sending regular patrols through Freedom Falls now, ever since the initiative was a success, but on several of these patrols, several side judges have gone missing. This has been kept very tightly under wraps, and officially, the initiative is still disbanded. Your colleagues are already down there, but I am worried as I haven't had a report in from any of them. And now that most of your work here with the Judicial Squad is done, I'd like you to go and follow up with them.
It would be my pleasure. It's a loose end I wanted tied up for a long time, and I look forward to seeing Judge Shea dealt with.
I'm sure you know about Judge Reinhold. He has been temporarily reinstated in his position, but keep an eye on him, Fremont.
As I do with everybody, of course.
Dismissed. And that is the
Okay.
briefing that she gives you. As you leave, is there anything you want to do? Or are you heading straight to Freedom Falls?
Oh, she's been waiting for this. She's gonna leave immediately for Freedom Falls.
Okay, and you head out and make your way to Freedom Falls. So, back in the Mega Block, however, currently, all of you are in the medical center. The fire has mostly died out here now, and luckily it's just that blood bank room and the side corridor that appears to be the most damaged. The actual medical center, like proper, the front bit where people are actually treated, is in disarray, but is not scorched. Judy, you are burnt. Bits of your uniform have melted where they brushed against the hot metal. Your hand stings even more than it did a few hours ago, as you've all had to watch in horror as Judge Waits convulsed, laid on this bed complaining that her insides were burning. And Waits, this has slowly started to subside ever since Judge Reinhold used some of his psychic ability to heal you. It still hurts, it's painful, it feels like you've just drunk hot coffee, the kind that you make in the morning straight out of the machine that you have to wait a few minutes for it to cool, as if you've just chugged that. You can feel it all down your throat and in your stomach, and it's painful. The young man that you saw previously, who was behind the curtain that Talon had pulled around the bed, is still seemingly delirious, mumbling to himself, occasionally laughing, occasionally begging, like he has been the entire time that you have been around him. And in the silence, as Janna looks on relieved, starts trying to pull medicine from the cabinets for you, what are you all doing? You're all sat here. Judy, you still haven't mentioned the incident that happened to you previously. And Reinhold, you're starting to get the sense that perhaps there is more at work here.
Am I still in a wheelchair?
Unless you got out of it, I will say yes.
I don't remember getting out of it.
No, I think you were in your... I think you got out of it to go and see if Waits was okay, but you were in your boxers and terry cloth bathrobe.
That's what I was saying. Yeah, no, I look like Tony Soprano, only thinner, and and with a little more hair. So, yeah, and it's Judy who's injured?
It's Waits that's injured. So Waits
It's
was the one
Waits
that was
that's
in
injured.
the room when this explosion happened and there was all this fire. And it seemed, from what everyone has been saying, that the blood caught fire.
Okay, I want to make my way over to Waits. Can I pick up on the fact that, I mean, are you all right?
Fine. Reinhold.
You don't look fine. You shot me, you know.
I did apologize.
That's true. Hold still. I'm gonna psychic heal Judge Waits. And this is kind of a moment for Reinhold because he hasn't used an ability in some months, almost a year. And so healed you for 4. Yeah.
And Waits, you feel the second bout of psychic healing. It soothes the burning down in your throat. It doesn't do much for the pain in your stomach, but talking is more comfortable. I think the only
Reinhold.
person...
We need to find the girl.
The girl.
She can
You
see
need to
things
be
too.
more specific. You're not talking about Shay, are you? You're talking about another girl?
Little girl from Freedom Falls. You met her once. She has abilities like
Okay.
you.
Okay.
She's here. Which means she's in danger.
Freedom Falls is a big place. You got anything better than here?
She's in the building.
All right. And then what do you want to do? Bring her back here? We're not safe anywhere. You understand? This is my whole point. This is why I'm going to go back and watch Murder, She Wrote. Is because there's
Judge
no
Reinhold.
point to this.
You know that she feeds on the energies of other psychics. We should have eyes on the child. And I think Waits has raised her voice so that the rest of the team in the room can kind of hear her thought process.
All right, that's a good copy. Everybody hear that? We got a psychic child. What needs finding?
Oh, great. Oh, fantastic. Oh, boy. We get to get a psychic snot-nosed punk. And we got how many psychics? Screw that. That kid can find their own way. Okay?
Okay. Well, we know what side Grease's bread is buttered on. Who's with me? I'm gonna go find this kid and keep her from the dangerous psychic vampire who seems to be a phantom foe, villain, that feeds off other psychics, as our colleague pointed out. We gotta round everybody up and get her to come to us. It's the only way to draw her out. You go looking for her, she'll turn your mind inside out and eat your brains for breakfast. Okay?
Ha!
Not literally.
Joke's on her. I don't even got brains or breakfast.
And
Oh, this is a good team. I feel so secure with this team. Judy says, as she sort of, I imagine you've got in this block, you had like a judge's sort of mini office, right? You had like a little police station
One
going
floor
on.
down.
there.
Refuge.
yeah,
the
you
rest
had the
of
old
floor down.
city defense building.
So I imagine you probably keep like spare uniforms in there, right? Because mine is mostly melted to me at this point. So Judy's
there's
shrugging
a
on
whole
a new
cache.
uniform.
Yeah,
Okay.
there's a whole cache down there. Weapons, uniforms for everybody. Talon is taking the blood that she drew from Waits and a sample that she collected of what was spilled, and is using whatever equipment that Jenna has in the facility, medical facility, to try and analyze it to find out what this was. How did this happen? How did they make this happen? Because
Okay.
yeah,
Go
they're
ahead
just-
and roll the. Let's see. I guess this would be logic.
Okay.
And if you've got chemistry or explosives, either of those will work.
Explosives, toxicology, and chemistry.
I'd say toxicology is probably the one that's like most
Okay.
accurate for this.
All right.
But
Judge Grease, if anything happens to the gal, I'll give them the Brando file.
No, you won't. You think you could scare me by giving away Marlon Brando's file? Ah, I got contingencies. I've been working this past year to make sure that Brando can't come back on me. Ha! Oh wait. Oh no. Oh, that was for the actor. Oh. I'm not changing diapers.
1,327 years in ISO.
Not changing no psychic diapers.
That was an 18.
An 18. So you hear this conversation going on in the background, Talon, and you spend maybe the next half an hour while Jana helps clear up, continues to give Waits some medicine, and Judy can go and get a fresh uniform. And it's very difficult, but you find it. And it looks like there's some kind of compound that was in the blood. It's in higher concentration in the blood that you found in the blood bank room, but it is still traceable in Waits's blood as well. And you would guess that whatever this chemical is, it looks like it's probably a combination of things, reacts similarly to something like potassium, pure potassium, when it hits water. It begins to heat and then violently explodes or combusts. Your best guess that this had been mixed into the blood.
So this is her whole following. This is what Talon did. This is what Talon does. This is before she came here. This is what she did. Does she know? She would know the research. She would know the people who were experimenting with this kind of thing, with this kind of tech. So would she have an idea of who had access to or the abilities outside of herself and possibly Grease to do something like this, to create something like this?
Although you know of several compounds that can be found in illicit places throughout the city, that such a similar compound could be found, something that was able to be stable enough in the blood, but then react with what you would assume would be the water on the floor, and perhaps the water that made up, that's mixed in with a lot of the Waits fluid system, for it to linger that long. You would suggest that this person would have training like yourself or Grease.
She knows where to find those names, where to find those people. She is going to head down to the refuge and get on a secure computer that connects to downtown, and she's going to start running that list, narrowing this down.
Okay, you head down there, hopefully to try and narrow that down. And Judge Fremont, you've just pulled up outside Freedom Falls. You may have been back here in the year that passed. You may have even patrolled here with judges at some point. But the same dilapidated mega block greets you. The blast door on the outside still slightly off kilter as you enter through. The atmosphere is friendlier. People see you. Some nod, but they definitely don't scatter like they did the first time you arrived here. and you can visibly see as you look up, there is a smell of smoke in the air. And it leads your vision upwards. And on one of the higher up floors, a floor you were very used to looking at, because it's possibly the one where the medical center was, you can just see light wafts of smoke.
I'm gonna head up there, because that's
Okay.
probably where they are.
You make your way up, and you can see as you exit the lift here, the medical center, the light, very light grey smoke that's now wafting out, this odd smell in the air. And as you get closer and through the doors, you see your team, minus Talon, but you can see, is that Reinhold? In a bathrobe. Judge Waits is sat up on one of the beds, and Jana, the medic, appears to be handing her a cup of some sort of strange coloured liquid. Judy is sat also in this room, along with Grease, and it looks like that there is blood across the floor, and you can hear muttering and murmuring coming from a bed behind a curtain as you enter, and all of you see Fremont walk through the doors of the medical center.
Oh, it's like this already.
Excellent.
Wasn't me this time. Wasn't me.
Oh, great.
Oh, there'd be nothing
More
left if it was you.
psychics.
Someone who
missed
knows what
psychic
they're
magic.
doing.
I
Fremont,
thought you'd
it's good
want
to see you
some.
again.
Good to see you back on the up and active, but your attire needs changing.
Well, we don't need pants to address the mission at hand, Fremont. We got to round up all the size sensitives, get them in one place.
Hold on.
Draw out
You're not
Judge
wearing
Shea
pants?
and Eliminator. Not officially. Not my regulation judge pants. I'm not a judge anymore, Fremont. I quit. So,
But
it
you're
is
here.
what it is. But we're gonna track this this young lady down and take it from there.
We've put a lot of effort in that child. Can't let her have her. Oh, they sent Judy. This must be serious then.
You know Judy? She's famous,
Oh. Pretty
I'm
well.
watching her show.
Fremont and I go way back.
Yes.
How's it
Good to
going,
see
Ruby?
each other. Good. Good. Very good. It's quieter now. Wow. So what happened here?
Blood turned to fire. That's some weird shit. And I mean, I know you guys are psychics and all, and you got these weird brain powers, but I might just be a simple little chimp. But fire and blood aren't supposed to happen.
Well, not unless someone makes it happen.
Judy, as you're sitting here and everyone's discussing finding this psychic child, a thought comes to you.
Oh, good.
You figured as you left the room that it must have been the water. The water triggered the fire. But it's an odd thing to poison blood. Poisoned. Was someone trying to poison Waits? After all, Waits has an agreement with the medical center here in regards to the blood that it receives. But if Waits is alive, that man, that young man behind the curtain, he failed. There's a part of your mind that tells you should go and see him. This maniacal, laughing man behind the curtain who you realize now is sobbing.
All right. So Judy zips up her new uniform. It kind of stings a bit. But she gets up off the cot, and she's gonna just not even like announce that she's doing anything, just head off to where this guy is. She's gonna go sit on the edge of his bed.
You do so. You get up, you sit on the edge of the bed, and he's babbling incoherently until your weight truly shifts onto it and you hear it creak a bit. And then he's silent and he looks at you with wide, terrified eyes. Go ahead and make me a will test, please.
Oh, good. All right. What?
And as Judy rolls that, I've opened up the poll for today's game over in chat.
That is a 10.
You're not one for pity, but he's so terrified. And he's not even babbling anymore, which means he has to be afraid of something. I mean, you are a judge that's just walked back here. He's clearly responsible in some way for what happened to Waits. The only thing in the back of your mind is just tell Lucian, you'll be okay. Calm the fear that he has. And you don't know why you feel that way, but you feel the need to talk to this man. Lucian, that's his name. You can't recall where you heard it, but you must have done. You know it.
I feel like almost automatically, without even thinking of pausing about acknowledging that information, she just does. She like reaches out gently. Lucian, it's gonna be all right. Don't worry.
And as you reach out to touch his hand, his eyes get even wider as you utter his name. And you can all hear this from the other side of the curtain. This is not a huge room, and the curtain doesn't do much to block sound. As Judy utters a name, there's a comforting tone, but this young man, his eyes go wide. His breathing quickens like somebody who's running from something. And then, you don't know when it happens, but then he's just gone. The eyes are blank. There's nothing behind them anymore, and his hand goes limp.
She just shakes him. Lucian? Lucian.
Nothing. It's
Jenna!
not that he's dead. He is breathing, but there's nothing looking back at you.
And she's shaking him and calling for Jana to come and see what's up with him.
And Jana rushes over and says, "What happened? What did?" And she's grabbing stuff off the other side of this cot. She's like, "Is he breathing? Did he say anything? What happened?" And she starts checking.
And Judy's just like, he's just quiet. His eyes were just wide, and then they rolled back in his head, and he just that.
Did he say anything? Were you asking him questions? What happened?
I just said he'd be okay. I was gonna ask him some questions. I said his name, and then he was out.
And that's where Jana stops and looks at you. He told you his name?
Yeah.
He wouldn't tell
Judy
anyone
lies.
his name. Jana isn't even stopping to think about whether or not you're telling the truth.
Mm-hmm.
What was his name? I can run it. Maybe he has a history. Maybe he's got family that could help. This could be a condition.
It was Lucian. Lucian. He didn't tell me a surname, just Lucian.
And she comes around the outside of this curtain and says, and she's looking and she's not registering. Where is Judge Talon? There's a name. She has to run a name for me.
Can I come around the curtain and verify that Lucian's not dead?
You can. You step around the curtain and you see Judy. Are you still perched on the end of this bed, or?
Nah, she's on her feet at this point.
This young man, he is breathing.
Breathing. Would you say dying?
No, this is the calmest you have heard his breath since you brought him in here. But when you walk up to him, he's laying there, eyes wide open, and you recognize an empty stare.
Mhm. It's her. She's in there. You can see it. Look at his eyes.
Oh, Judge Reinhold, what do we have here?
She gets in there and
What's this?
kicks you out. You understand? That's what she does. It's happening right in front of us. This guy's here 1 minute and gone the next. Look at his eyes. He's not here.
I got this.
Who is this?
Walks up to Lucian, takes a nice simian hand, and whack! Smacks him right across the face.
You whack him, and the face turns into the pillow. It doesn't snap back. There's no reaction, no audible gasp, no flinching, not even a sign of pain, a twitch in the eyebrows. He's now just staring out across to the wall.
Okay.
Okay. Sorry, go.
One more time. We'll just whack him one more time.
Is this your
Cozy.
plan? Is just to beat the
Shit.
shit out of this individual until his mind comes back into his head? Or are you going to take 10 seconds and listen to all the qualified psychic judges in all
And
directions?
how do I know
from
you're
you?
not giving me false information?
Grease.
You sold drugs to the enemy a year ago, you crazy ape. This is the problem. We've got a powerful psychic judge who is on our shit. You understand me? We will lose today if she has anything to say about it. I'm going to go back to the couch and watch TV if you are going to actively sabotage another mission, especially in front of Fremont, who should have shot you by now, frankly. Excuse me. I'm going to go meditate for 20 minutes.
Grease, help Jana find Talon. She was researching my blood. Fremont, you need to find the girl.
Yes, but
Wait's
first,
still in bed, shouting from beyond the curtain.
does this gentleman know
Yeah.
anything about our missing psychics? Is he a person of interest?
He doesn't know a damn thing. Just a madman. Muttering things, screaming, crying. Tried to take out Jana when I got here.
He probably wasn't like this to start with.
No, he wasn't.
Maybe he's hiding something.
Well,
Fremont's just going to walk up to him and just put her hand on his head. And she's going to try and read his mind.
Go ahead, do you have to roll for that ability?
Yes, it's my psi versus mental defense. Versus his mental defense.
Okay.
Or whoever is in there. Who knows? Okay, that's 4. And I can rope in telepathy for that as well?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. $17.
17. You place your hands either side of his head and concentrate. And the only way you can think to describe it is there is an emptiness, an empty pool of black nothingness. And then you catch an echo. The echo of a thought leaving a mind. But I didn't tell her my name. She said my name. And now I'm going just like she said, but I didn't tell her my name. And it's distraught and sad, and it's an echo. The thought has already long passed, probably in the few moments before Judy was shouting for help. And you hear the echo fade until there is just blankness.
Shit. It's of no use now. Whatever she did to him, it's been done. His mind's been erased. There's not much we can do for him here. But Judy,
What?
He did say that he did not tell you his name.
Then how did I know his name?
The same reason that his brain just got emptied out.
Fremont, you've known me for years now. We've been on the beat together. We've taken on murder robots, corrupt judges. Kane's dad.
Oh, you don't have to remind me about that one. So think about it.
Still unpacking that one. But you think something this trivial would get me? And
Sarah.
if something like this was happening, I wouldn't report it?
Sarah, we are dealing
Oh,
with a powerful psychic.
Fremont, we are not on first name basis. You know this. You know this. There are two
I have your
people who can
attention.
call me that name.
Oh, I know. Yes. That's why I said it. This might not be up to you, Judy. We're dealing with a very, very powerful psychic. It's none of our fault if we become compromised by it.
I'm telling you now, I'm not compromised.
I will keep that in mind.
You better.
Anything else, you tell me or Reinhold right away.
You got it.
Good. To make sure this child is safe and not in the clutches of this psychic. Deal with this however you must. His brain's gone. It's a husk left. Might be just, more merciful to dispose of that.
Probably.
Judge Talon, down in the refuge, you are running the names that you know. Some that you learnt while becoming more familiar with the block after the initiative, but none of them seem to fit quite right.
She's
However-
crossing with judges as well.
You come across a few that you have trained with, but they have no reason to be here. Only 2 of them have ever done patrol here, and that was 6+ months ago. You do notice, however, that one of the missing Psi judges, a Judge Dashford, before training as a Psi judge and then moving on to work the streets, he also trained in tech, specializing in chemical compounds, nano compounds, the kind of research and development stuff that goes into making the gear that you wear.
This is me. I got this turned. Okay.
Yeah, that's red flag. Did she work R&D with this guy, or was he in R&D before her time?
He was in R&D before her time. It looks like this is what he did as he came out of the cadet. Before, it seemed that he honed his psychic powers and moving on to that.
She's pulling his record, his file, everything that she can on him. All of it.
Okay. You start pulling everything. There's a lot of data. He's served for quite some time. He's not an old judge by any stretch, but he's been doing this since he was old enough to be a judge. So he's got a good 6 or 7 years on the record.
All right.
And that is anything else that you wish to do while you're here?
She's gonna. Is Reinhold coming down to the refuge, or is he still up in medical?
What are you
Walking
doing,
down.
Reinhold?
Walking out.
Okay.
So she would have
Walking out in a
Reinhold's.
hut.
She would have Reinhold's gear already. His uniforms folded up, all of his weapons, lawgiver, everything is just in a nice, neat pile waiting for him, either for her to take it back up to him or when he walks in, it'll be sitting there. Once she's got the name, she's going to start going through what chemicals that she may have squirreled away still here in the refuge. She's going to start doing some cooking, and she's also, if she can, going to try and see how closely she can replicate what she found. She's
Okay,
start
that's
with
gonna
the
it's gonna take a little while to do that. It's
Mhm.
not gonna be the easiest thing to do.
No, she's taking those first steps, kind of starting with the mixtures and fiddling with it, as well as getting some soup going on the back stove,
Just like the old days.
just like the old days.
You do that, and Reinhold, you eventually come down, and as you step outside the refuge, you can smell a familiar smell, the smell of good soup, with just a hint of chemical wafting over the top. Just like when you first came here, before you saw the value in Talon's soup kitchen. But that soup that you all came to love from Talon, that was here every time you needed sustenance. As you open the door to the refuge, it wafts outwards. That deep, rich smell. And you can see folded up on one of the chairs is what looks to be a uniform.
You know when somebody, sorry, yeah, you know when somebody blows in with way too much energy, just mad as shit, and just like rips the door open and the handle all but comes off, it just like blows into the room. Good afternoon, Talon. Smells amazing. If you're looking for any vegetables for that soup, you've got a big fat one upstairs ready for you. I'm gonna go. Huh?
The kid, Lucian.
Yeah. Vegetable. Dunzo. No mas.
Great. He gears over there.
It's bad. I'm gonna go put some pants on and meditate for 20 minutes. See if I can't find this girl.
All right.
And then we're gonna go track her down.
All right. Hey, how long you been? You've been out the last year. You ever work with a judge by the name of Dashford? Side judge. Ring a bell?
Side Judge Dashford. Not off the top of my head.
All right.
Why?
Just curious. It's one of the side judges that went missing through here within the last 6 months. There's been a whole rash of them, but something about him. And she holds up this file, and just there's red flags here somewhere. Just wondering
You
if
see a lot of markings for, as Talon flicks through to show you, research and development files. It looks like he worked in R&D for a bit.
Not a whole lot of crossover there.
Here in
Like my
Freedom
other
Falls?
girls. His R&D first, went Psy, and then on patrol in the last 6 months through here, got nabbed. That's a whole
Do
lot
we
of
know-
coins.
Yeah, really. Do we know how many?
How many are missing? About half a dozen, I believe. Is that right?
Half?
Yeah, about
Yeah.
4 or 5 judges at least.
We've had about 4. Yeah, that's why we're here. That's why you're here. In the patrols, last 6 months, 4, 5 side judges gone missing coming through here. That's why we're back.
I've been eating nothing but Jello and Salisbury steak for 6 months. So you're just gonna have to give me a second to process this. You're telling me that 4 side judges stationed in this area have disappeared, at least 4 in the last 6 months?
Yes, that's what I'm telling you. And she hands you a bowl of stew and an apple.
You're gonna have to put a little gin in there or something, get that up on its feet, because this is a serious. I'm lightheaded because you know what this means. She's gathering them up. She brainwashes them. We may be walking into a complete buzzsaw here. She may have a little private side judge, Mickey Mouse Club army waiting to stomp us as soon as we've got to draw her out. Do you understand? We've got to make her come to us. We've got to round everybody up who she hasn't taken already and get them in one place.
Well, that's why we're here then. Go meditate. Eat. Your gear's there. It's all good to go.
Just picks up the bowl, makes. Sorry, say what?
I got a little cooking to do.
All right. Appreciate you, Talon. You're doing the Lord's work. I pick up the bowl. I walk out to the bunk.
Bunk that you haven't
Susie's gone.
seen.
She puts a cigarette in her mouth, lights it, and starts mixing chemicals.
And you carry on doing that, trying to replicate it. The file open beside you, and Reinhold, you settle down on that bunk and begin meditating.
So I have. I just want to mention really quick. I have an exploit. She lives there, where I know who lives where on the block, and if I need to find a citizen, I can use this to track them down quickly. So that's what he's going to spend his 20 minutes doing, is remembering where the last time he saw this girl was.
Yeah, you remember Waits taking you to see her, and it's just about trying to retrace that back. And that's what you do for the next 20 minutes. Meanwhile, upstairs, we have 4 other judges.
Sorry to just interrupt you here, V, but the results of our poll are in, and a broken heart was the winner.
Okay. So, you're all upstairs. There is this beginnings of a plan. Find the kid. Find anybody who might be at risk because of their psychic powers. And Judy, you can't help but think it's a great idea. Get them all together. One place. Easy to defend. That's good. It's a good plan. There's a part of you that you're eager for this plan. This sounds like a good plan. And it's that same odd feeling in the back of your mind, but no, this sounds like something that would work. This sounds sensible. This is definitely you.
So I think, yeah, after everybody's kind of standing around and doing nothing, Judy's like up on her feet and she's like, right, are we doing this? Where do we start? And where do we hold up?
It might
don't
just
know.
be easier to just go to their residence and just hole up there.
Reinhold mentioned, though, getting all the psi-sensitive folks in the tower together, away from her. If we can get them all together, at least we can monitor them. And if any of them show any signs of behaviors, we can stop it. Either through restraints or otherwise.
Okay. Just I don't mean to poke holes in this plan of yours or anything, but maybe putting a bunch of volatile brainiacs that can do brainiac stuff with their brains all in a tower where this person can catalyze all of the psychic energies within your psychotic brains. Maybe, just maybe, and this, once again, I'm just a simple chimp here talking. Maybe not the best idea.
I mean, no, it sucks. It's a shitty idea. But at least if we know where they are, then they're not going to be springing out of doorways and dropping down on floors in our faces out of nowhere, right?
We're judges. We'll just get all the psychics and put them in the ISO cubes.
Oh, the isocubes will not stop this. An isocube is a room. It's physical space. You might as well
We'll
just
put
have
them in the
them stand
ISO cube
outside.
and we'll knock them out. No brain function.
Oh, there's still brain function. Unconscious is even more dangerous.
Okay,
When you sleep,
I guess you don't understand.
Oh.
Why are we leaving these psychics alive? We should just put a bullet in their brain so their brains don't turn into brain tanks and brain blast us.
I will leave you with a thought here, Judge. What do you think we think about you and your kind? The non-Psi judges.
Oh, okay. Okay. I was about to say, you came from me. Okay? I'm like your distant, super long lost ancestor.
Oh, I did not mean your chimpanzee nature. I am talking about the non-psychic. That we do a better job without you. So let's leave off the
Who
putting the
took-
psychics
who
in a
took out-
room.
Who took out Mr. Baldy? Oh yeah, that was Grease. Who brought Law back to the Mega Block? Oh yeah, that was Grease.
Oh, we did. And you spent a good amount of time in the isocubes, if I may remind you.
I spent a day, even though a day could do a lot of damage to a chimp.
Who do you think pulled the strings for you? Certain other judges put in a good word. Without that, you would have rot in there, Judge Grease. And I suggest
Okay,
we do
all right.
our jobs.
We're all very impressed by the respective sizes of your lawgivers, but can we move on and do something, please? Because I'm bored already.
Okay, so
To the child.
I'm just saying.
Virginia.
Yes.
While this has been going on, can Waits have slipped out to go and find the child? Because she's got the impression they needed to talk this out, and no one was moving quick enough for her liking, so she's kind of like stumbled stealthily out of the room.
I'm not going to make you roll for it. Yes, they are so engrossed in this, and they are still, I think, the other side of the curtain. And the three of you, as you're arguing, and eventually, Judy, you proclaim that something has to be done, and as you all kind of make your way around the curtain, Waits is gone.
Oh,
Where did Waits
now
go?
the vampire decided to go up and shamble off. Okay. So we got psychics. We got a missing vampire. We got exploding blood. You know what? I'm going to go back to my box. That's where I'm going to go. And he starts walking towards the front.
Judy, he
Good.
can't go back to his box. He needs
As
to
he
be
walks
here.
past Judy, she just grabs him by the collar. Nuh-uh.
Excuse me?
You got a job to do, Judge.
I got a job to do. Yeah. I mean, you guys are psychics. I can let you guys got this. You guys know stuff.
I'm not a psychic. Do you know what? I'm just a average human ass being who's here with these chuckle. And I'm here because I have to be. And so do
you're
you.
not a psychic?
No. I'm just the best street judge has ever been.
You know what? I like you even more, Judy.
I'd like you too, Grease. Like, I read your file. Druck and dope. But
All
you're
right.
just here for me, yeah?
Grease is like the size of a small child. Climbs up on Judy and is a literal monkey on her back. All right,
right.
let's do this. I'm
Got
just
this. Fist bump.
short legs. Fist bump.
All right, let's go find the vampire before she eats someone.
Yep, she's done that before.
Oh yeah, I was there once. Ooh.
So, as the three of you set off, I will say, Reinhold, you do, in your meditation, manage to locate the child. She is in her residence. And as you make your way out, I assume, of the refuge, you meet up with Fremont, Grease, and Judy, who are also seemingly trying to figure out how to make their way there. But I want to cut to Judge Waits, who slipped out maybe 5 or 10 minutes before. You're not sure. As you make your way towards, what did we name her? Charisma, I think, was the name that came up. Or Karis for short. You make your
Karis
way
for short.
towards her residence. How do we find you?
Waits vaguely remembered Jana saying that the child had been into the medical center that day, trying to recall anything before all of that fire was difficult. But when she'd kind of stumbled around the medical center and seen no trace of Charisma, she kind of headed straight back, remembering the few months or so before, maybe a year before. She kind of feels like she's losing track of time, being back here in this place and so many strange things happening. And she recalls how Tetley had been the one that had led her to that apartment, and it was during that time when Judge Reinhold was missing. And I think she remembers only now that in her pocket is Reinhold's kind of reauthorized badge that she was meant to give to him. And she kind of pats that pocket, and she pats as well the pocket that has her beloved ticket writing notepad in it.
You find both items there as you pat them in their familiar places.
Reassured by those two things, she kind of straightens up and tries to fix her hair, which I imagine is mostly gone from various flames that were just encountered. And she kind of has to check herself in something reflective. I imagine there's one of those like dirty windows, so dirty you can see yourself in it like a mirror.
Yeah.
And she kind of gazes into that and tries to do something so it looks like her appearance is intentional and not like she just half exploded in a fiery pool of blood, and goes straight up the stairs to that apartment, knocking on the door, as she has multiple times when she's visited with Fremont since that first day.
And you knock on the door. You hear the sound of a chain being unlatched, and the door cracks open a little bit. Wait. Is everything okay? And you recognize Charisma's mother as she looks at you, slightly alarmed at your appearance. Should we be worried? Have you come to tell us to... Is something wrong?
Yes. You remember how when I first came here, one of our judges was missing, Judge Reinhold?
Yes.
The person who took him is back in Freedom Falls causing problems. And that person has a particular interest in those with gifts, and her eyes kind of look around the apartment for Charisma.
And you can see her. She is over in the corner. It looks like she's doing one of the exercises that you've given her, which is picking up an object, trying to concentrate on it, and scribbling something down. And you know, she's only maybe 5 or 6. Her writing's not the best, but you can see she's trying. Is she in danger? Should we leave? Do we need to leave?
I need to speak with her first. But then you may take refuge. And she just leaves it at that, because in the refuge seems redundant at that point.
And she has a moment where you can see she's processing this before she kind of opens the door without saying much, almost looking at the ground, as you can see that the wheels turning as she tries to take in what you've just said, and lets you in and closes the door behind you. And Charisma, the little girl that you've come to know, she is sat on the floor, and it looks like she's got a bunch of random items. Maybe they're ones that have been picked up, maybe they're ones that Jana has given her. But you can see she's picking them up and clenching onto them tightly, in the face, with the face of somebody who's trying to concentrate the way that kids do, scrunching her face up. And she holds it for a minute, and then she looks a bit disappointed. She scribbles something down on a piece of paper, and the handwriting's messy, it's childlike. She picks up another object, and she's just doing this as you approach.
Karis, I need to talk to you.
Oh, hi, Judge! I'm trying my exercises, but this one's harder.
Did you visit the medical center today, Karis?
Yes, yeah, I went with Mom.
Do you remember meeting a man who wouldn't tell you his name?
Yeah, he was weird. I didn't even say anything to him, but when I walked past to go and get my objects and the exercises from Miss Jana, he started screaming and shouting, and he was pointing at me, but I didn't say anything to him. I wasn't mean.
No, I know, Karis. You wouldn't be mean. That's against the law.
Am I in trouble? Did I do something wrong? Did I upset him? I didn't mean to. I just went to get my exercises with Mom.
He's a mystery man, Karis. We are trying to understand what happened to him because something very bad happened to him.
Oh no. She kind of looks sad in the way that kids do whenever they hear something bad has happened, instantly forgetting that this man was shouting and screaming at her.
Nurse Jana's
okay?
looking after him now. He'll be alright. But I need to know if you remember anything about him. Or if you felt anything special about him. Or if anything else strange has happened to you recently.
She kind of screws up her face, thinking, I don't know. He was just weird. He was screaming and shouting. He said he didn't like me. People like me. I don't know. Things have been weird. I've been doing my exercises. And I found this. And she holds up what looks to be like this. It looks like brass, but the edges are slightly jagged, but it looks like they've kind of been smoothed off either through wear or perhaps even someone purposely kind of rounding it out for her to hold on to. I found this while I was playing in the hall. Don't know what it's from, but I like the things I see.
What things do you see? And Waits is looking closely at this. Is this like the brass of a judge badge? That kind of, is it the same color as that?
It is the same color as that, but it's hard to tell what it would have come from. It looks like it's something that's been torn off or perhaps broken off of something. I don't know. When I hold it and I do my exercises, there's loads of these pretty colors, and they're all in, I don't know, like water or something. And then the whole room is lit up with blue, like the blue in the medical center from the computers. Like loads of them.
Plants, like flowers, and Waits will pick up a crayon and draw a flower, unaware if this child's ever visited the upper level that's been kind of unlocked since our visits to Freedom Falls.
There were no flowers. There were people. I couldn't make out though. They were just kind of blobby shapes. But there was all of these like blue lights, like the computer screens, and all these pretty colors and noises. It smelt weird too. Like burning, but like not bad. It wasn't bad weird. And the floor, it was like it made... Well, it's like the floor in the lift where it's all metal. It sounded cool as I, walked through it in my mind.
Sounds like a very wonderful thing. And she'll hold out her hand for that brass object.
And she's like, I can have it back, can't I?
Of course.
She hands it over
Judges
to
don't
you.
steal. That would be against the law.
And she recites some code back to you about how many years an ISO it would be if a judge was stealing. And
Waits
looks very proud.
very proud.
She hands it over.
Now, Karis, we're going to go down to the refuge, and I think we're going to meet some very interesting people there. You remember Fremont? Fremont will probably be there.
Yeah, she was
Reinhold.
pretty. I remember him. He's the big scary one that isn't actually very scary.
And he sees with his, and she like pokes Charisma's forehead right here where Reinhold's third eye is.
And she giggles. She looks at you like she wants to ask you something and says, will there be soup?
Yes, Judge Talon is here too, and where there is Judge Talon, there is always soup. It is the law.
Yay!
Talon's law.
Mom, can I go with Judge Waits? You can hear her calling. And her mother comes into the room and is like, are we going somewhere?
Going to visit the other judges. Down at the refuge, 1 floor down.
Do I need to come, or should I stay here? I trust you. I want her to be safe if she's in danger.
You should come down with us. I'm sure there is enough soup for all.
Okay. I should probably maybe pack some things for us if we're going to be staying. Maybe you should go on ahead in case she isn't safe here, and you can see she hasn't quite worked out the logistics of it in her head.
Don't pack too much. You'll be back soon enough.
Okay. I'll meet you down there. Yeah. Karis, darling. You're gonna go with Judge Waits, and I will see you in a few minutes. Okay? And she kind of just nods. She's excited now. She gets to go with you. And she goes and grabs a little cardigan and puts it on, and then walks up to you and grabs your hand expectantly.
And Waits kind of wraps her gloved hand around Charisma's and will lead her out. And she'll walk to the lift, but then decide to go and take the stairs instead.
As you walk towards the lift, it pings. And in the lift are your fellow judges. And all of you see as the doors open, Judge Waits just turning with this little girl holding on to her hand.
Oh, hello, Karis. How are you doing? I see Judge Waits has come to see you already.
And she hears your voice, Fremont, and turns around and says, Judge Fremont! And kind of comes up, runs and hugs your leg.
Oh, she'll give her a hug. This is another psychic, so...
Yeah. And then as she's hugging you, she looks up and she sees you, Reinhold. And she kind of giggles. You look funny. And she kind of clasps her hand together like an eye on the top of her head. And she's kind of hugging Fremont. And she sees you, Judy, and with grease on your back. And she pulls this face like she doesn't know what to make of you.
Yes, we all have questions about that.
This is Judy. She's a friend.
Judy has her television promo face on, so she's kind of giving that kid that the law is coming for you face that she does for all her TV promos.
And you watch as this kid kind of looks around, sees the other judges smiling just for the moment, lets go of you, Fremont, and kind of walks up to you and looks and says, "You're that one from the TV." And she strikes whatever pose it is that you strike in like the beginning like credits at the end as like the title screen comes in is the pose she gives you.
And Judy is trying to hold that face. She's trying to hold it. She's like, "Oh, you're goddamn adorable." And she puts out a hand. She's, "Nice to meet you."
As you put out the hand, the kid just hugs you. And then pattering from behind, Tetley comes out and she's immediately like fussing Tetley, and you're all standing by this lift. And
Wait.
Judy, you're in the lift. It's you, Grease, Reinhold, Fremont. Talon, did you come up with everybody, or are you still kind of cooking away at your explosives downstairs?
Talon's still cooking.
Still cooking.
Yep.
And this little girl is now standing in the lift with you, with Waits just outside. Judy,
Waits
make a will test for me.
turns to Reinhold as Judy makes this will test, and she's gonna toss Reinhold his badge. And in her hand is still that little brass object.
And Judge Reinhold, a badge comes towards you. It's got a big stamp on it. Right over the bit where it says retired is reinstated.
Where'd you get this?
Halls of Justice.
I hung this up. I said I was going to be done.
They unhung it for you. Put it on, Judge.
I guess I can't rip this lady's mind out if I'm not a judge. Then put it on my chest.
Reinhold, as you put this on, I have an important question. Are you inside or outside of the lift?
Did we all get in?
So
'Cause
everyone
we
was in
went
the lift.
up.
Did you? Yeah, but did you step out to put the judge on or grab it from weights?
I didn't step out.
Okay. So you're fastening this badge. Judy, there's a voice in the back of your mind. There are 3 psychics right here. In a lift. The doors, very easy to close, the push of a button. You should keep them safe. Nobody but you should know where they are. If only one person knows, they're safer. At least that's what the voice in the back of your mind is telling you. And as you question yourself, you hear it say, Sarah, you need to trust yourself.
Okay, so so Judy is not completely like lost it at this point. She's very well aware that Fremont and Reinhold could be a problem if they start asking questions. So very much like the scene from the second Captain America movie, she's gonna hit that button and then kick the shit out of them really quick to try and take them out.
You hit the button, the doors close. Wait, you watch as everyone's standing there. The little girl is currently fussing Tetley just to the side of Judy. And suddenly, Judy's arm whips out lightning speed, hits a button, and the doors slam shut on the lift, and it begins to move. You are left standing there. Reinhold, Fremont, this happens so quickly. The doors are suddenly shut, the lift is moving. The little girl is still fussing Tetley as she kind of looks around, but doesn't think anything of it. And, Judy, would you like everybody to roll initiative?
I would.
Everybody in the lift.
What?
Roll initiative.
Yes.
Yes. Since I'm currently on her back, do I
Mhm.
get some kind of advantage?
I'll give you a bonus dice.
Okay.
Initiative is intuition and insight, right?
Oh.
I don't like that. No, that's not a good. No.
Also, Judy, I need you to roll a bonus dice with that as
Holy
well,
shit.
Okay.
for reasons.
Wait, did we decide
Well,
that?
I accidentally rolled 1 too many. I was supposed to roll 5, but I rolled 6.
That works out
So-
fine.
Oh god.
It's will and logic?
It's,
Is that right?
intuition plus if you have anything that would make a difference to this. So insight, instincts, anything like that. Let's see.
3, 4, 5. Okay. Oh,
Right.
lordy.
And so that was
15.
And Reinhold, you're currently in charge of Tetley, I think, at this point. So can you just go ahead and roll 4 dice for Tetley as well?
Well, it would be my pleasure to roll 4 dice for that precious little pup judge. Oh, and he kicks some ass, too. 18.
18.
my boy.
Okay.
Man, Teddy, clean up.
So, Judy, you do get the first turn here. You've slammed it shut. The lift is moving up. You've just punched one of the upper buttons. What are you doing?
So she's going to immediately pull out the lawgiver, slam Fremont by the throat against the wall, and blast her with a stun round up close.
Okay.
No, actually,
go ahead.
hang on. Yeah, because she's psychic. I'm not trying to kill her.
Okay, go ahead and Fremont, suddenly you are slammed by the full force of Judy's arm up against your throat and you're pinned to this lift. Judy, go ahead and make an attack roll and roll a bonus dice because you are in close quarters,
Yeah.
and it's a lot easier.
That's
Fremont maybe
21.
forgot. Yeah, Fremont maybe forgot that how fast Judy was.
That is 21. Is that enough
Yeah.
to...
Oh yeah.
Okay. Go ahead and roll for your stun there. I don't know if it does any
Okay.
damage. Let me have a look.
It's 2d6 plus 2 for me. So that's 7.
7. Okay. I've just got to go and look up the stun effect here. Unless somebody knows what it does straight off the bat, but there are so many effects in this.
And thank you so much to James in chat who donates to make Susanna Grace more kick-ass. Like that is a critical success for Judge Judy.
Oh,
Thanks, James.
Thanks, James.
Let me just have a look here.
Oh, yeah.
I'm literally the worst at finding anything in a PDF. Susie, you don't happen to know just off the top of your head what stun does, do you?
I don't, unfortunately.
I don't think we've used stunned. I don't think we stunned anything ever.
Nope.
We just kill it.
No.
Who has time for stunning when there's killing?
We've electrocuted a ton, but never.
While we check it out, I will shout out to chat. We're only one retweet away from a Wild Magic Surge. Wild Magic Surges last week brought us Blood Catching Fire, the voice in Judy's head, and a whole ton of other things, including Judy being not afraid of fire that I've just remembered about. That's gonna be good. Yeah, so that's going on right now.
I got it. So if stun means if a target is reduced to 0, they are knocked out rather than killed.
Okay, so you take those 7 points there, Fremont. You've been tased up close, and it hurts. But it is your turn next. I think you're muted,
Okay.
Shauna.
Oh, there we go. Okay,
Yeah.
sweet. All right. So Judy has me by the throat. Judy has a significant height difference, so I'm probably off the ground at this moment, at least by a foot.
It's that typical kind of movie where you pin someone up kind of by the top of the chest here. You've just been at almost point blank range, been hit with a stun round.
Oh boy, yeah. This is what she was afraid of. So she's gonna have to do something to make sure she's seeing Judy just tear people apart from smaller people than her. So I'm gonna suggest Judy.
Go ahead.
And Shauna, you also have a crit success from last session, just so you know.
Oh, I don't want to hurt Judy that. Although now
We've
that
been
Judy
through
has
so
2.
much together, Shauna. So much.
I know. This isn't deadly. You're holding me up. You're holding me up. All right, so that's 6. 24.
Yeah.
Go ahead and roll.
You know
for
what?
that.
This is all or nothing at this point. If she gets another round, she's gonna literally kill me. So that I have 14 left. So I'm gonna spend 2 psychic points. 4 extra psychic points. So that'll leave me with 8. And make that 3d6. This bypasses soak. 11. I'm really just hoping that he just lets go of my neck at this moment.
So you take 11 points of that psychic damage there, and I think that does pass through the soak, doesn't it? Soak doesn't help at all here.
Because it's armor, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. As you
Okay.
feel Fremont reach out and blast towards your mind, as you're still kind of up close, you can see it in Judy's eyes. Next up, we have Grease.
Grease is going to attempt to choke out Judy.
Okay.
Ooh.
Just as the old phrase entails.
I want to say that because you are, it's not that you're just behind her, you're on her back. So I'm going to make this opposed. So let's see. I want to make sure I get this right. It's been a while since I've had to roll opposed tests in this game. Here we go. Okay, basically, both of you go ahead and roll. So, Grease, this is going to be strength, probably. Plus, if you've got anything like hand-to-hand combat.
I'm brawling.
Or... and Judy, you're also going to oppose, I'm going to say here with agility, rather than strength, because your hands are full. It's more about whether or not you can shake loose of Grease trying to strangle you from behind.
All right. Eesh.
Grease.
You got me.
Judy tries to shake, but you manage to get your arms around. Go ahead and make an unarmed attack.
Okay. That is...
It should be on your sheet, but it should be strength plus any relevant skill that you have.
Oh, yeah. It's just going to be the same thing. With brawling, 9.
You take 9 points of damage, Judy.
Okay. Soak on this or not? Because it's a physical.
You did actually change your armor, didn't you, from your damaged one? So you still do have kind of the collar. And I don't know if you've got your helmet on, but that will provide kind of some resistance because there's only so, I imagine it's stiffened. But yeah, I'll say that you will get some soak on this.
Okay. Oh, you missed it, Freeman. Judy wears a helmet now.
Oh.
That's Kane's influence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or was it just to look good in the television show?
I mean, a bit of both. But she'll never tell Kane that.
Okay, next up we have Tetley. He hasn't been issued a command yet, so Tetley doesn't know what's going on. He just starts growling. You see Karis is now frightened. A shot's been fired. Something's happening in this lift, and she just kind of hugs behind like Tetley and just holds on to him as he just kind of stands his ground. And he's not growling at anyone in particular, he's just growling at all of you in that kind of defensive, waiting to be told what to do. And this brings us to Reinhold.
I'm going to use telekinesis to pull Judy's gun out of her hand, which is... where is it? It's a resisted roll. Wait, no, it's not telekinesis. I know this is a thing. I was just looking at it. Telekinesis. You can freely telekinesis a single size solar smaller. Yeah, I just do it. But she gets to roll against it, I thought. No?
What's it
I
called?
just take it?
I'll double check.
Telekinesis?
I think we may have rolled some sort of resistance. I think I remember doing something.
I think get
Yeah, I will
Like
say go
strength
ahead.
to hold on to it.
Yeah, so does it give you a
I
difficulty?
roll psi and you roll strength.
Cool. Okay. So go ahead and roll your psi plus your telekinesis skill. Judy, you can go ahead and roll strength and whatever skill you think is most appropriate with this.
So telepath, but not telekinesis. I remember telekinesis being a skill. I remember telepath being one.
In which case you're just rolling your psi.
Though, which is the bottom number.
Yes.
Though.
Could I apply my skill of fortitude to this? Like, this is like her, like, just completely buttoning down the hatches. Never get disarmed.
In this instance, absolutely.
All right, let's go.
And James has donated a critical fail to Judge Tetley.
Oh man. Good
My-
lord.
Damn. You never try and take Judge Judy's gun.
Yeah.
You go to pull it, Reinhold, and Judy, you feel the twitch of the gun. You manage to tighten your grip on it, almost kind of pressing it up into Fremont to kind of keep it shielded away and against your body, making it harder to pull. At this point, I'm going to very quickly cut. Waits. The lift. The door's closed. It went up.
Waits is already running for the stairs. As soon as she saw that little triangle light up to know what direction it was moving in, she's gonna move. She knows Grease is in there, and Grease is really good with that elevator. But she's gonna hit the stairs. And also shout out to Kitchen, who just donated to give Judge Judy a boon. So Virginia, it's up to you how that may manifest, but sounds like Judge Judy has some more backup on her side from chat. Thanks, chat.
Even as you run to the stairs, you hear something go off on the inside, the sound of something hitting metal. And all you know is that there are 4 judges in there, a doggo, and the little girl that you're trying to protect.
I think she's going to will herself to run almost like supernaturally fast, pulling on everything she has. Her idea being to either catch the lift or get above it so she can drop down onto it and into it.
I will remind you that you do know somebody who's also very good with that lift, who's currently not stuck in it, who you have contact with.
Or I would if I hadn't have been set on fire last session and half my shit melted.
I mean,
I'm hoping someone in the lift is paging Talon right now, to be honest. Someone who has not been set on fire today.
And Talon, you're back cooking away, the soup on the stove, none the wiser about what's happening just outside.
Would you like a run test, by the way? Because I have points.
I absolutely would.
Talon does have an urge to make popcorn, though, for some reason.
So that's 2 dice. What's the base on it? Agility?
Yeah.
Alright, so I'm going to get to roll 5 dice, and that'll be my go. I'll roll that up if you want to move on.
Okay, so we're back to the top of the round. Judy.
Okay, so Judy is still, she's pushing hard on Fremont with this arm, keeping her pinned up, and she kind of like growls at her in a very sort of bestial manner, which Fremont will be aware of, having fought alongside Judy. She just gets this red mist and she's gone. But she's going to pull up the lawgiver, and little known fact about Judy, she's also a pool shark, and she shouts into it, rubber ricochet, aims at a corner at the lift and fires, and she's aiming for Grease to shoot him off her back, and I would like to use one of my crits to hit him.
Oh.
Okay.
Damn.
It takes you a second. As we've seen, Waits has been inspired by you to ricochet those bullets, and so it takes you seconds to look at the corners and figure out which one to shoot to avoid hurting the girl.
Mm-hmm.
And you fire off the shot, and Grease, you don't understand why she's done it for a second until you see the bullet coming towards you in that split moment where it catches you in the back of the shoulder and knocks you flying from Judy. Is there any damage on that?
There is, and there's an extra 2d6 because we're in an enclosed space. It literally mentions elevators in the description.
Yeah.
So I was reading my ammo like, yes. Okay, so it's 3d6 plus 4 is what I roll for this. So that's 15.
15. So I probably have slides if you want.
Yeah, I got so. Just gonna soak it down to 10.
So you feel this, it knocks you, and it's not even so much that the bullet is what does the damage, it's hitting the wall behind at the force, not expecting it to come towards you. And it hurts. But you're not actually shot. You've probably got a nasty bruise, but you're not bleeding. We move on.
You get two actions.
You do.
That was just one.
You do have 2 actions.
That's right.
Okay, I mean, so Judy's not a complete idiot. She knows that if this fight carries on, she's gonna lose. So she's gonna just say to her gun again, "High X," and then she moves the pistol to Fremont's face. Says, "You all stop or we all die."
And you can see the little flash on the side that shows you a high explosive round has been locked in. And Judge Fremont, you've never been this side of a lawgiver. You've been threatened with one before when you've rooted out judges, but none of them have ever actually turned it on you.
Yeah, the high explosives are fun, except when they're aimed at you for once. God, yeah, she's just like, I think it's a combination of just like she is losing consciousness. I think Judy is probably pressing pretty hard on her at this moment, and
Your mic's gone again, Shauna.
oh, she's just going to reach out a hand and just kind of wave, kind of like just hold to Judge Reinhold. And she'll like lock eyes with Judy.
Is there anything else that you want to do?
Ooh.
Is that the end of? Is that what you do for your turn?
I think I'll do it for a turn. I cannot survive a high explosive point blank.
Reinhold, you see Fremont putting out her hand, and Judy, she locks eyes with you. It is now Grease's turn. Grease, you can see this from the corner of the lift that you've kind of hit into. Judy pointing a lawgiver at Fremont, and you can see the high explosive ammunition selected. You can see Fremont putting out her hand as if to stop Reinhold, while keeping her eyes locked on Judy.
I think Grease goes ape, akin to the style that Horatio went. But unlike Horatio, who is more brawn, Grease is small. He's fast, he's agile, and he's going to grab hold of Judy's leg and kind of spin around her, climbing up onto her back again, over to the arm, and do that like sick military thing where they take the gun and they switch hands. And then he's going to end with the intent of ending up with Judy's lawgiver pointed at herself.
Okay, for this, I would like you to
I'm going to
roll-
use this little dice in this corner.
Okay. So, you run up, Judy, you feel something climbing up your back, and lightning quick. There's a flash, and the lawgiver that you're holding to Fremont's head is no longer in your hand. Perhaps your concentration slipped for the moment when you thought this was over. Grease, what else you want to do? That's one action.
I'm going to take a nice simian hand and whack Judy upside the head.
Go ahead, make an unarmed attack.
12.
Is that enough to get through your...
Oh, just one more. Yeah, you got it.
Go ahead and roll for that damage. Judy, I'm going to say you're not going to get soak here because you're not wearing your helmet right now.
Mm-hmm.
So that is 10.
10. All right. Oof. Oof. She's looking rough. She's still up.
Tetley has still not been given a command, so he is in the corner. He's barking now, wildly. Charisma is upset. She's confused. She's crying. But there's also a look in her eyes like she's watching something incredible. She's seen your show, Judy, so she's no stranger to what judges do. And there's, even behind the fear, the sense of wonder about what's happening in this moment. Reinhold.
So Judy is up, but has dropped her gun, and Grease has the gun.
Yep. She still has Fremont still half pinned against the wall, though.
Okay. I'm going to do psychic suggestion, and we make a psi versus mental defense check. And if I succeed, you have to perform one action as directed by me that does not cause you harm.
All right.
So I roll 3, which is a bunch of baloney. 9 slash. 13.
Mm-mm.
What's your mental defense, Susie?
16.
16.
Oh.
So you gained a boon. And for some reason
boy.
in the back of your mind, you do not want to submit to what Reinhold has in store. You are
Just
your
like
own
staring at you.
person. So your boon is for the duration that I can't actually give you the time period of because that would give too much away. You get a +4 to your mental defense against your fellow judges, anyone you perceive that would be doing you harm. Reinhold, you feel you reach into Judy's mind and something very quickly slams you back out again. And you don't think that's Judy. Learning mental defense like that, that's not something that you just pick up through force of will.
Mm-hmm.
That's something else.
Get back, Tetley. It's her.
And Tetley begins shuffling backwards further into the corner with Charisma, as she's now kind of hunkered. I mean, he's quite small, so there's not much to hide behind, but he shuffles backwards protectively. Judge Waits, what did you roll? I didn't see your results, sorry. What was
I rolled a 20. I believe.
Okay, with that, you don't just meet the lift, but you manage to get a couple of floors above it.
Okay, so she would spend her action breaking open the elevator doors so that she can drop down. She doesn't, unlike Grease and Talon, know where the service like hatches and approaches are. She just knows where the elevator doors are, so she's just going to open those and aim to do like a drop down, either using the cable or something else, maybe a ladder or something, whatever's in there to get down.
I will say that you can definitely pull the doors open, especially if you know the floors here and where the doors are weaker. Because there has definitely been some damage to them over time. So you manage to pull them open and you can see the cable. Go ahead and make me an agility acrobatics if you have it, or anything similar to acrobatics that you think would fit here. Talon, while you're downstairs in the refuge, you start hearing an alert go off on the computer. When you look at it, it looks like there is something wrong with the doors to the lift on one of the floors.
She knows that Reinhold left the refuge to join the others, that they were going up. Reinhold, status?
Not good. Judy is compromised. We have small arms fire. Almost under control, but not quite.
Right, taking
Over.
control of the elevator. And she's going to hack into the system, and that elevator is coming down express to 25.
Okay. Wait, you grab a hold of one of the cables and it's not quite as close as you think. You have to kind of lean out and hope you catch it as you do. You manage to get down the cable, but you don't quite anticipate quite how fast you manage to get down here. And even through your gloves, you can feel a slight burn through as the steel cable begins to tear at the kind of ballistic fiber. And you're not going to take a whole ton of damage, but you do take 3 points of it. That is not soaked by the armor from the heat because your hands are still burnt and sore underneath. But all of you in the lift hear an audible thud on the roof of the lift. Waits as your feet find purchase on it. Would you go ahead and just roll yourself into initiative for me, please, Charlie?
Yes, I will. Let me see. Oh, what is initiative based on? It's not currently on my sheet.
It is intuition plus any relevant skills. I think you have
I have
You have it
intuition as a skill, perception as a
Yes.
skill.
Go with perception for this one.
Alright, so it's 5 dice total. 17.
Okay, so that puts you here.
Oh, hang on, I get a plus 1d6 because of danger sense. 22.
22, so that puts you, I think, just after Fremont. There we go. Okay, so you are here on top of the lift, and you can see the little service hatch opening on the top. Judge Talon, you can see the alert going off. You want to hack into the lift?
Yep.
Okay, go ahead. Make me a logic plus if you've got computers or tech. There's a relevant skill that you think would go along nicely with this. Electronics.
Well, let me see. Now I've got quick repair.
Repair will work here
Repair work?
because you have repaired and worked on this lift before, so it's less about whether or not you can get the system, more about whether you can get it to do what you want it to do.
Okay. So that doesn't let me roll anything though. So just logic.
Logic, yeah.
All right. $13.
13. You managed to get in, you know the system well, and you managed to rewire the lift, send it the signal to come down to this floor, and only this floor. Is there anything else you want to do?
Yes. Talon will then be outside the lift doors waiting for them to open. She has got her weapon drawn, stun, and when those elevator doors open, she will shoot Judy.
Okay. So, go ahead and just roll yourself into initiative for me, please.
All right.
And while you do that, we're going to go round to the top of the round. Judy.
Okay, so I'm very excited to do this because I've never done it before. I'm going to drop Fremont, and she pulls off her day stick from her belt, and gonna take a swing at both Grease and Reinhold, because Judy has cleave, which means when I do one strength attack, I can follow through and hit someone else. If I hit the first one, then I can hit a second. Well, I can make a second attack for free with a d6 penalty. So I'm aiming for. I think Grease has been the most physical problem for Judy at the minute.
He's
So
also
I'm gonna
closer
aim-
to you now.
Yeah, so I'm going to aim for Grease with my day stick, which is going to be a 19 to hit.
Yeah.
Okay, and that's going to be 3d6 plus 4 damage to Grease. That's 15 damage to Grease.
Raise down.
And
And
then-
you take the day stick, and Grease is out. Tetley goes over and tries to pull him closer towards the corner to some kind of safety.
All right, Reinhold. Let's see. That's a 10. Ooh, that's low. Does that hit?
That's my melee defense.
Mm-hmm.
11. Missed by 1.
Damn. Well, that was just my first action, so she's just gonna swing for you again.
Okay.
Dare you.
That's much better. That's a 21.
Oh, sure. That's much better. What's
Okay.
the damage? Dare
Hang
you.
on.
Things
That's
are
just gonna
so
be
well.
10 damage. It's just
You
10.
my God.
do have armor soak.
Oh, I do. Do I roll soak, or is that a flat number off of everything?
Flat number.
Flat.
It's
Okay.
5, I think,
Alright.
for standard
Okay,
armor.
go.
And
Okay.
you think it misses, and Judy comes back again, catching you with the day stick. Fremont. You see this, Grease is down. Reinhold has been caught and struck by Judy's day stick, but she no longer has a gun. In fact, that clattered to the floor when she hit Grease.
Oh, so like under her breath, she just like chuckling. She's like, "I'm sorry." And then she'll just like whip her hands out and just grab Judy's face, or you know what, grabs her arm because I don't know if she can reach as far. But she'll just grab her and she will try and just electrocute. Just try and like basically. Yeah, try and stop her because this is bad. Like she will kill us if we do this. All right, that's 5. 21.
Oh yeah.
Even with the thing. Okay.
Is that against your mental defense,
Mm-hmm.
Judy, with your bonus?
Yeah, even with my bonus.
Wow.
One
Nice
more.
going, Fremont.
God, yeah, I was like, oh, this is close. All right, so that is electrokinetic. So that's 2D. That's everything I have. All right, so this is 2d6. Come on. Oh, 11.
Judy's out.
You feel gloved hands against your cheek, and as you turn, Fremont, it gives you the purchase to put both hands on the side of Judy's face. Judy, you've been hit with stun weapons before. Part of training. This is nothing like that. It's not electric in your body, it's electric in your mind. And natural instinct, you feel something trying to push against it. And then there's a sense that whatever was holding that back is gone. And then it's all black and it's dark.
Yeah, I like to imagine that there's a little bit of Emperor stuff happening, and like Fremont got a lot of that too.
Yeah, it's
We're both right.
it's a lot. Grease, you are currently out. Tetley is trying to pull you away from what's going on here. And he's now growling at the unconscious Judge Judy. So we're going to go over to Reinhold.
Well done, Fremont. You know, they say that when two separate events occur simultaneously pertaining to the same object of inquiry, we must always pay strict attention. And I've lost count at 4 so far this morning. If she can just take over judges like this standing right next to us, I'm telling you, we must embrace the possibility that we cannot win.
Do you do anything else, Reinhold?
Talon, do you read?
Yeah, I'm here.
Judy is down. Elevator is not functional. And do we have a 20 on weights?
Elevator's on its way here. Weights, location.
And I imagine at the moment there's a thud as the elevator kind of cranks into movement and Waits is knocked off her feet where she's been trying to get the top hatch open. The hatch opens and it's like Waits half coming in.
The elevator hasn't completely stopped. It's kind of slowing down. It's kind of doing that weird, slightly shaky thing. And Waits, you do kind of half fall, half land on the inside of this elevator, which is quite cramped. You can see Fremont looking kind of out of breath, a bit out of it. Judy is on the floor. Grease is just behind a growling Tetley, with Clarice hiding literally as small as she can in the corner. And you have Reinhold there as well, a nasty bruise across the side of his face.
So I think Waits to stop herself from falling all the way in because she knows it's crowded lift and she's got a gun in the other hand. So she's just like half dangling like an awkwardly suspended Tom Cruise Mission Impossible. What is the situation?
Yeah. Speak of the devil, and the devil appears. The situation is Judge Judy was compromised by you-know-who, tried to kill Fremont, almost killed Grease. I don't know. We don't have a... he seems to be breathing. But I was just entertaining the thought here with Judge Fremont that we need to consider carefully what we're up against, because if this individual can take over entire judges, particularly non-side judges, on a whim, we are in, I believe the technical term is, deep shit.
Grace.
Judge Talon, please page Jana to the refuge. We have injuries.
Grease, it's at this moment as the lift kind of shudders into place that you start to come round a little bit. You weren't dying, you were just knocked for a moment. And as you open your eyes, there's something wet on your face. And there is Judge Tetley licking at you, pouring at your chest, nuzzling at your face.
Get out of my face, you stupid mite.
He kind of makes a little leap, but he kind of backs off, and he looks expectantly, just. And then when he sees you kind of start to sit up, he just shuffles around in the lift and goes back over to Charisma, who's in the corner, upset, crying, terrified, and just kind of trying to nuzzle into her.
Can I go talk to her?
You can.
All right. What was your name, young lady?
She's looking all around.
Clarence? Chastity?
She almost
Clarissa?
looks past you, like she's finding it hard to focus, and her eyes lock on Grease. Are you okay?
Oh no, I'm just fine. It's one of our friends got, went crazy. We have to somehow protect you from an all-powerful psychic. And no, you know what? After further investigation, I am not okay at all. I'm going back to my box.
Protect me? You were doing all that for me? She kind of looks slightly horrified, upset. She's a child. She can barely comprehend what's just happened, let alone that this is because of her. She just looks at you, Grace. I'm sorry.
Oh no, that makes everything a lot better. Yeah. Oh man. You know what? Your apology totally fixed the day stick that I took to the side of the face. Your apology fixed the bruise and the battering that I took from a rubber ricochet bullet. Oh yeah, no, sorries make everything better.
Grease, your continuing talking will result in a bullet to the head, and that will make everything better.
She
And as
is
you say
a
this-
child.
You can see
Is
her
Waits
kind
a
of
side
like
judge? Because she read my mind.
this poor kid, Charisma. You can see, when kids start to cry, and you can see the chest going first as they're trying not to, and then and she just bursts into a well of tears.
All right. I'll tell you something. I'm taking over the child care for the rest of the afternoon.
Talon, the doors open, and this is the scene you're greeted with inside.
Talon's just like, first thing she does is she's already holstered her weapon, knowing that Judy is out. She's got manacles, handcuffs out, clips them on Judy, then just picks up Judy's weapon, and then literally starts pulling every weapon that Judy has off of her. Just
How many secret weapons does Judy have tucked away?
So she's got the regulation gun. She's got the regulation day stick. She's got 3 knives. Extra belt knife. She got that belt buckle knife. She's got a little extra pistol.
Fruit knives.
Boot
She's
knife.
got unregistered weapons.
Couple. She doesn't have a sword this time, though, so, you know,
God.
not as armed as she
Thank
could
God.
be.
We would be dead.
Talon's used to finding those hidden weapons, patting people down. So she pulls off all the weapons. It's got them in a nice pile. And Judy is much larger than Talon. She looks at somebody pick her up and we'll lock her in the bunk room. And
Copy that.
looks at carrots. And I think it's time for some soup.
She's kind of been calmed down a bit now by Reinhold and Waits and Fremont, and she's kind of sniffling. Yeah, I'd like some soup. Yeah.
I've got apples too. Come on. And she'll offer her hand, and just walk. Let the rest of them clean up the mess with Judy. And she's just gonna walk carrots
takes
back
your
to the
hand.
refuge.
She kind of wraps her hand around the side of it as she walks, kind of like holding on to you.
Tal looks at you.
Before she
still
walks,
taking the smoke.
I think so.
Okay, I need a cigarette. And one-handed does that as they're walking.
And Waits, just as she walks off, she pulls on you, Talon, and goes, "Can I have?" And she starts rubbing her hand together. It makes me. I like the colors. And you realize she's indicating to that piece of brass you took off her earlier.
Waits is gonna pat herself down as if looking for it. She knows exactly where that thing is, but she doesn't want to hand it over because she wants to give it to Fremont to check first. And she can't find it, and she's like pretending to be sorry about it. She'll pull out her pad with her special pen, and she'll offer that to Karis instead, and say that it always makes her feel better when she writes down in the pad the things that have gone wrong today.
And she looks a bit upset, but she takes it, and she goes back to kind of hugging Talon's arm. And so she goes off, and Talon, you can see she's kind of holding on. I like it when Judge Waits lets me write in her pad. Sometimes I pretend I'm a judge too. But then I don't want to tell people they've done things wrong if they haven't done something wrong, because that would be lying. And then she quotes off something about lying to a judge and how many years in ISO. So I prefer my coin though.
Did I hear her say that? Or are
Sorry.
they walking off?
You can probably briefly just make it out, but she's holding on to you, Tansha. I like my coin though. The pad is cool, but the coin makes me feel better.
Coin.
I'm going to tell you something that my mama told me sometimes. You can't always get what you want. So you may want that coin, but you ain't getting that coin. That's
Well,
something you got to deal with. Life's full of disappointments, and this is just one of them.
But I like all the colours and the metal floor and the lights that look like computer screens and the funny
What
smell
about
in the.
What if you pet Tetley for now? I know that's not the same. But I'll see about the coin.
You promise?
I promise.
It's so cool. I wish you could see it, but only I can see it because of my gift.
Can you make
And
other
all of-
people see it?
I don't think so. But I can describe it really well.
I feel like Waits is hovering in the background of this, doing the adult danger eyes of danger, danger, danger. We'll talk about this later.
Yeah, Talon's walking with Karis back to the refuge at this point. I imagine Jana has come down the stairs, realizing that the elevator's not in service at the moment, and the elevator is now locked off to 25. It's not going anywhere.
And on the way, Karis tells you about this thing that she sees, and you kind of know the nature of her gift. She can hold objects and she sees things, or she learns information from them, and she starts describing this place or maybe this room with a metal floor with a strange but not bad weird smell in the air, and all around these blue lights like computer screens like the one in the medical center, and
Any of
pretty
this ring a
colors.
bell? For Talon?
Go ahead and roll a roll intuition.
Okay.
And if you've got law skill, add that as well.
Okay, I do have a law skill. Okay, so that's another 3 on top of that. Oh,
Oh.
yeah, that's 29 total.
At first it doesn't until you start quizzing her on details, and then you start to piece things together. Somewhere that's got a lot of computers, the blue light, the weird smell in the air. When she gets into the refuge, she says, just like this. It smells kind of like this. Chemicals. Pretty colours. The metal floor, that's what really triggers it. She describes this metal floor and how it sounds to walk on it, and these people, these dark, shadowy figures that she sees, and it vaguely reminds you of one of the R&D labs. Covered in computer screens, the smell of chemicals or soldering or just... And then the pretty colours. You know that the labs that deal with chemicals, doing burn tests, different chemicals have different flame colours. You know all of the warning labels across the bottles, brightly coloured to ward people off from them. And she sees all of this through what she's calling a coin. But you're almost certain she's describing an R&D lab. Probably one that you have been in.
So Talon is, as this clicks, she's just going through the whole, she's still going through the regular motions of, getting her set up, and here's some soup, and as she's listening to her talk, and as it clicks, she goes, I think I would like to see that coin too. And I'll tell you something else. When you get a little bit older, I will take you to that room if you want to go.
It's real?
It's real. I've been there.
Is it as pretty as I say it sounds?
It is very, very pretty.
And she then starts up the childlike conversation of how old does she have to be? Does she have to be 7 or does she have to be 8? And she goes into the refuge with you.
Soup.
Which leaves Waits, Fremont, Grease and Reinhold by the lift next to Judy's unconscious body.
All right, I'll get her feet. You get her hands.
All right. Oh God. She'll kind of shake off.
Wait.
Yeah.
Fremont.
All right. Look.
Yes.
The coin that the child was playing with, and Waits will flick it over, and then she'll go to help carry Judy out of the lift.
She'll catch it, and then she'll kind of like flick it through her fingers and just kind of look at it, and then put it.
And
in
she'll
her...
repeat what she was told by Karis, just very quickly. Metal floors, bright colors, computer screens. It's a place. She has good feelings about this place, which means whoever owns this object probably has good feelings about this place.
I'll see what I can do about this. First, I need to sit.
Yeah, set her down for just a second. Look, have we pulled the Judge Shea file? I mean, have we requested everything there is to know about this former member of our own law enforcement community?
Talon pulled the files last time we were here, and Judy had met Shea before. We don't have
Judy,
a lot of information, even with those things.
that one got by me. Judy's met her before.
I
This is
believe
what
so
I'm
in
saying.
passing.
This is what I'm saying is, we need to hit her where it hurts. Because if she can reach out and just pluck one of our minds out standing right next to one of us, then this original notion of forming ranks and digging in to draw her out may not work. In fact, and I hate to say it, Grease may be right. It may be a mistake to put all of us so susceptible to her in one place. That said, who are her enemies, right? We knocked one of them out a year ago. Who does she care about? Who does she hate?
It would be in their files. But they didn't even tell me that psychics were missing. It may be behind. Classified. We might need some help to get that in. Get in there and see it.
Corruption is in all directions. If I learned anything a year ago, it is that. And the fact
believe
is,
me.
If you want something done right, we're going to have to do it ourselves.
Oh, I
As for
certainly
access
agree.
to classified documents, Judy knows someone who could get us in. Someone who's very high up in the halls of justice now.
All right. So we
Yeah,
handcuff her to the
just-
radiator and mind probe her.
You see Fremont just kind of like make a fit. Just kind of like, oh, that's right.
What? What is it?
That's right.
But Reinhold, your earlier point, what does Shay care about? Who does she hate? She has a connection to you.
Yeah, she likes me. She took me somewhere. I don't know if it actually exists, though. Some kind of warehouse. Bunch of chairs. It was like nearby, but I don't think it was real. I think she had me running around in circles until she wanted me to snap out of it.
Let's get Judy
I got
awake
shot.
and get some answers.
Yeah, let's take her back to the inn.
Right. You're up. Here we go.
Sure she's okay.
I got a lower back thing, so let's do it. Here we go. Lift with your knees. And... What?
Speaking of Judy, you are unconscious.
She looks so much smaller
Oh,
on
no.
TV.
Grease is just sitting as they lift Judy by like the arms and legs. He's just sitting on Judy's torso, just along for the ride.
And Judy, the last thing you remember is the gloved hand against your cheek, the apology, and the feeling of whatever barrier that was keeping Reinhold out dissipates and the blackness come over. And you feel your eyes opening. You think you're in a room. You can hear birdsong. There's grass beneath your feet. Bare feet. But the walls, you're still inside. You don't know what's here. And then it comes flooding back to the lift. You had everyone right where you wanted them, but why did you want them there? Why did you hit the button? You had Fremont up against the side of the elevator, almost choked her. Grease was unconscious the last you remember. And Reinhold, you took 2 swings at him with a day stick. You vaguely remember saying the words high explosive. You think back to Tetley in the corner trying to protect Karis. And you've got no idea why. How does Judy feel in this moment as there's this almost wave of realization that hits you as you're standing in this strange place?
She's pissed because part of her brain is like, something has been. I would never do that. Now she's thinking clearly. She's like, what the fuck was that? And she's mad because now she obviously knows why they're here. She's heard Reinhold being about this powerful psychic. And I think she's starting to put two and two together, and it's come out angry rather than four, right? So but she's also like low-key upset because Fremont is her friend. As much as they have this friendly rivalry going on and this tension, Fremont's about as close as it gets as friendship for Judy. And so she's very upset that she would do that to Fremont. And Grease and Reinhold, who had done nothing to her, that she would attack her fellow judges. So it's like that upset that just fuels the pissed off. And I think she just like lets out a shout of frustration.
And as you let out this shout, this cry, you have a moment and you're suddenly aware that someone's in front of you. How did you not see them before? This woman. Pale, long hair. You recognize her. This is Shay. She looks different, more gaunt, thinner. A look in her eye that's very different to the one you last saw, and you didn't know her especially well, but you knew of her. And she just looks at you, and she looks sad.
Shay?
She tilts her head up. You're not dead, if that's what you're wondering.
Where am I?
Well, kind of back there, kind of here.
Not in the mood for games, Shay. Where am I? And Judy takes a step forward, like with the fist clenched.
Take a step forward. You're not any closer to her than you were before. Like I said, you're kind of back there, and you're kind of here. What are you all doing here? I thought you'd all left.
Surely you're smart enough to figure that out.
So now the Hall of Justice, now they care.
So see, Shay, here's the thing. I didn't care before this was a job. Now I care, Shay, and now you have a problem on your hands.
At least they care enough to be, what are they doing? Carrying you back. They haven't even restrained you. Trusting.
Keep playing your little game, Shay. Keep playing them. I'm sure you're having a lot of fun, but you are gonna lose.
Perhaps. You could have been so famous, Judy. Forget your television show. That would have been child's play compared to what could have happened today if you'd have just pushed a little harder. You would have been plastered across every 3D TV set. Every billboard, every paper.
When I bring back your fucking head, then we'll see.
I like how the Hall of Justice only wants to bring my head back when it suits them. They didn't care. They didn't care when Caro went missing. They didn't care when I went missing. No, they were perfectly happy just to write that off. Could have got him out. This would have been simple. But then he got shot. Do you know what it's like when you're a side judge? And the walls get blown in So hard you can't even stand up. So hard that when you wake up, you can't even use the abilities that you have to free yourself. Instead, you have to use the abilities you have for the purpose of others and watch them grow in power. Watch them destroy the people that you wanted to save. I'm not your enemy. I'm not your friend either, but I am owed, and this is my payment.
Is this what this is? You owed something. It's disappointing.
They took from me, and then they left me. This is what we do, isn't it? The law. We punish the people that deserve to be punished.
Yeah.
That whole damn building deserves to be punished, and everybody in it that sits at the top.
Here's
I'm sorry
the thing,
that
though,
it had to be
Shay.
your friends.
Here's the thing, though, Shay. You know full well that that is a load of shit because you're not going after the ones at the top. You're putting the lives of everyone here at Freedom Falls at risk, the people that you apparently care so much about. You're using it. That poor boy, Lucian, what you did to his mind, that's not punishing the judges at the top. That's not punishing those that left you behind. That's petty.
Do you know how many people that young boy had hurt? Do you even know anything about him other than his name, which you so kindly uttered? Thank you for that. I didn't completely control your mind, Judy. If I had done, I could have wiped you like a blank slate like I did him. No. I thought if they'd send anyone, they wouldn't be sending you. No. I think it's time you went back, and maybe we'll talk again when you seem more reasonable.
Yeah, call me when you've got something a bit more interesting to say. I'm done.
You get to leave here when I say you get to leave here. So I'll decide when you're done, but I am owed. And unfortunately, you were the ones that showed up. If you'd have just left me alone, if you'd have just not cared about the handful of missing side judges, just like nobody cared when I went missing or when Caro went missing, this would be fine. But you had to come and meddle. And if I don't get rid of you, they will just keep coming.
Even if you do get rid of me, they'll still keep coming.
It's a shame. I don't like having to sentence the innocent, but, well, there's only so long that you can outlast without the help of one of your friends. And she gives you this really off smile. I'll tell Jana that you said hello. I'm sure she's very comfortable right now. And then she's gone. You never saw her leave. You didn't even blink. And before you know it, you can hear sounds, voices, distance, echoing. And you wake up in the bunk room of the refuge. Alone. So as you have now carried Judy in, you have secured her away as you said you would. What is everybody doing?
Grease is throwing corn chips at Judy. Kind of like you would throwing cards into a hat. He's like a bag of corn chips. He'll eat one like obnoxiously loud and then crinkle into the bag, pull out another corn chip, and toss it in, like trying to get into Judy's mouth. And it's like, one for me, one for you. And he's obviously missing. There's just crumbs and broken corn chips scattered around her.
I think Fremont's just sitting, probably not where, like, in the same room as Judy, just not where she can see, just kind of like meditating, just waiting for her to like come back to consciousness, and just tilts her head toward Grease. You know, she could tear you in half.
You know, I've teared in half scarier.
She's a judge. Give her the respect she deserves.
Oh, okay.
Or find
Pulls out
someone
two
else.
corn chips and throws.
This is what you wake up to, Judy.
Imagine a bit like salt gets in her eye. She's like, oh, fuck.
There are,
like,
it's that awkward bit, you know, like when you're eating and you end up with like crisp dust all down your shirt or something, and you can feel it and it's horrible. You've kind of got that. You ache. You've got a splitting headache.
And she fishes one out from like between her cleavage and she's like, salt and vinegar. Nice.
Oh, hey, look,
Morning.
she's awake. See, I told you the corn chips are a natural way of waking somebody up who's unconscious.
Oh, I'm sure. Welcome back to the land of the living. I'm sorry I'd do that.
I guess I'm sorry. And she's like moving her arms around. I don't know what happened.
Oh, you have quite the strength. I haven't seen it firsthand in a long time. You lifted me, I'd say, a good 2 feet off the ground.
Is everyone okay?
Oh,
More or
yeah,
less.
sure. You just kind of battered me with the day stick. Decided to hit me with a rubber ricochet bullet. Oh, you were also going to threaten to blow off your friend's face with a high explosive round. But you know what? Your apology just makes that all better.
Grease, it wasn't her fault. It was Shay.
Yeah, speaking of, had a good chat with her in the in-between.
That's right, being unconscious leaves you susceptible to that. What did she say? If you can say.
She's gonna kill us all.
I mean, that's not surprising.
It's some sort of petty beef with the higher up. She went missing. Judge Caro went missing. Apparently they wrote them off and now she's pissed.
Oh, and she wants to take it out on the rest of us. All the other missing judges. I'm sure that's the great way to do it.
Does she know that I shot Caro?
Oh, certainly she does. Grease.
No, I was talking about Judy.
Oh, she did mention that he was shot, so she knows he was shot, at least.
Yeah, no, who did that? Yeah, we should find that person and bring him to justice.
How long was Judy out?
Probably from the time that you actually got her into the bunk room. 20 minutes.
So
I imagine that Fremont is able to kind of coax her back out of unconsciousness.
So
Yeah.
before she became conscious, Talon would have grabbed Fremont, Waits, and Reinhold and Grease, and told them about the coin. What Karis told her, told them where the coin, the memory that the coin holds, and then she would have looked at Fremont and said, We need a stock bottle of blockers.
I was thinking the same thing. Although I'll give you warning. Somebody like this, the blockers block out low-level psychics. I don't know if they're going to do very much with her.
Some is better than none.
Of course.
Well, you're talking about chemical psychic suppression?
Yes. The blockers.
Presumably that we would all drink? Is this the idea?
Those of us that can't appropriately defend ourselves psychically.
I don't know. I defended myself pretty well the last time Shay tried to get in my head. You just gotta sing her a song and she just goes away.
Never had her there.
We're just going to sing her a song? Give her a kiss on the cheek, she'll go away? Is that the deal? Yeah, I'm fine
Oh no,
with that. That's all you
I
want.
was
He was annoying.
singing her a
is what
song.
he was.
My
Gre-
people.
Grease was being himself. Something about Grease is the word over and over and over again. I think it was.
Oh,
This is the word that you heard.
repeated
As
mantras
you're-
do have some effect.
As you're talking, none of you realize in this moment, caught up in figuring out what's happening, there's suddenly a voice from the doorway, and as you look, there stands Karis, kind of poking her head round the door, looking in, kind of sniffling still a little bit. She's still a bit puffy-eyed. Is she okay?
She'll be
She's
She's
fine.
fine,
should
young
be s-
lady.
Should be seen and not heard.
Hey, all right. No, I'm taking point with the child care here for just a second. Young lady, would you like to come in here for just 1 second so we can talk to you?
Am I in trouble because you did this all because of me?
No, you're
Not
not
at
in
all.
trouble.
I take a knee. Not at all, young lady. Here's the deal. You are what's known as a psychic sensitive. It happens for many reasons. You know, you might have been born with a unique genetic mutation. You might have been born on what's called a psychic ley line. It's not the point. The point is you were born with special gifts. And while that does give you certain abilities and powers, it also makes you susceptible to certain kinds of other forms of attack. The law enforcement community here in Freedom Falls is currently under attack by a powerful psychic such as ourselves and you. And that means we've got to defend ourselves, and that means you need to be nearby. So we'd like to go ahead and
So I
move
can help?
you and your effects. That's correct, young lady. You are going to help us by moving yourself and your effects here into the refuge facility. All the soup you can eat, gonna be a blast. Gonna be like a sleepover, a psychic sleepover.
Do I get to be like a judge?
Like, yes, right? Yes, like a judge.
Yes.
Like a judge.
No.
Like a
Wait.
Kind
And she
of
reaches
honorary
into the pocket of her jeans, and you can see she's made some drawings on that pad, Judge Waits, but she flips them over, and she takes on this kind of pose, and she starts writing it out. And she looks at you, Judy. She puts the pen in her mouth. She scribbles something, and she kind of gingerly walks over, a little bit afraid.
Mm-hmm.
But you get the feeling she's okay because everyone else seems to be okay, and you're not. You don't look like a bad guy. You haven't got cuffs on, you know. And she tears the thing out. She hands it to you, and it's one of Waits' tickets for writing out, you know, ISO cube sentences. She tears it out and hands it to you.
Judy takes. She goes, "What's the sentence, Judge?"
Well, you did a bad thing, I think. I don't know. I don't really understand, but. And she just looks at the paper, waiting for you to read it.
And Judy looks at the paper.
And it says, in really 6-year-old scribble with terrible spelling, I sentence you to one big apology.
Actually,
And
can't
she-
handle it.
She stands there looking at you, and she turns and looks at you, Waits. And she has a little grin. She looks
Now
back
remember-
at you, Judy.
Judge Charisma. No handling of weaponry until properly trained.
She kind of
Wait.
nods at you.
That's the one rule that you guys have. Don't give her guns.
Waits looks
Priest
at
pulls out a
Grease.
gun and hands it over. Go
Oh,
ahead. Have fun. You're kind of
No.
cute, so don't
You,
look
you
down the
shouldn't
barrel.
do that. You should never let go of your primary weapon.
Oh, that's right. Good, excellent job, Charisma.
And she turns back to you, Judy, as she's looking at you. You have to obey a judge. And Judge Waits just said I was a judge. And I could be just like one while I'm here.
Yeah, sure thing. And Judy like sits up and her head just like feels like it's gonna explode. She's like, okay. Oh, so at the sentencing here of Judge Charisma, I owe you all one big apology. Sorry?
I think that's fair. Okay.
Is that
Look,
summarily?
I've watched at least 100 hours of your show over the last year. I know your character. I know your heart. I know that wasn't the Judge Judy that we all know and love and watch every Tuesday at 2 Eastern. But the point is it 5? Oh, sorry, 5 Eastern. Fridays at 5 Eastern. The point is, we know that it wasn't you. And this is exactly what I'm talking about. Everyone is vulnerable to our opponent.
Can I show Judge Judy my coin, please? Pretty
The what?
please?
Talon's already told Waits about the coin and what it means and what it is. Talon has been trying to ask Karis earlier where she got the coin, how she came about it.
She tells you that she found it. She found it in the hallway while she was playing. It was just in a kind of like a, you get like kind of debris that builds up in places. And she just saw it and it was shiny and she liked the colors. But please.
We'll work out where exactly.
And she kind of gingerly holds her hand out. I'll give it back. I just want to show it to Judge Judy. Maybe it will make her happy. Makes me
Judge
happy.
Fremont found the coin outside. Waits is trying to cover for her earlier lie. She's not good at lying.
I have it.
Go ahead and make a deception test, Judge Waits.
Ooh, okay. Do I have any points in deception? No. What is deception based on? Charisma?
Yeah.
Chris. Ooh.
Alright, 2 dice for me. 8. It's pretty good.
8. She looks at you, she goes, You're not allowed to lie to a judge, but you are a judge, so I guess you wouldn't lie? She looks a little bit unconvinced, but she doesn't know how to call you out on it if it's true.
Waits finds herself looking to Judy for backup. Judy's a
Oh.
very good liar.
How dare you?
Oh, wow.
Please, can I have my coin, Judge Fremont? I'll give it back to you if you want to borrow it to make you happy.
Judge Waits didn't lie to you. She did it for your own protection.
I suppose that's fair. I think there's
Um,
something in the judge code about that.
Yeah, Fremont takes it out. This might have come from the bad lady. And we just want to keep you safe.
It'll only be for a minute. And if it's bad, you're all here. Please.
Before that, I have one big ask for you. Something you can do for me. Can you show me what you saw?
I don't know. I just touch things and I see things. I don't know if I can show other people. Maybe if I can have the coin and I can look again, and maybe you can try something with me, because you can do clever things like me too. Maybe if it's
I
in
saw
my
this in
mind.
a movie. Okay, I think I know what to do. Give her the coin, and then charisma. I want you to take your finger and I want you to press right here on my forehead. And then whatever you see, picture you pushing that into my mind.
Okay, but can I show it to Judge Judy first?
Yeah.
Then I can
let's
try and
it to
show
Judge Judy
everyone.
first.
Judy
It
in
is
her
a
head
very
is like,
pretty
I've
book.
got such a bad headache. I don't need this right now, but okay. And she'll take a knee to drop down next to Charisma.
Virginia, before Charisma does whatever she is about to do, we did hit our Wild Magic Surge and retweets, and I'd like to roll that before the end of the session, just in case it has
Go
some
for it.
play.
There is
Who
no
would you
other-
like to give it to?
Let's see. We've got 6 people here. Let me roll a d6. That is Judge Fremont.
Oh no.
So that's a D10,000, please, Shauna.
All right.
I do apologize for the interruption, but before we hit the end,
Right.
No, I think this is the perfect place to have a wild magic surge, Charlie.
Okay, that's enough. 0. Is that enough? Oh yeah.
what number did you get, Shauna?
2245.
Oh no, that's a bad one.
I don't. Mm-mm.
Here we
Not
go.
2245.
Fremont's presence causes worked stone to sweat.
I mean. Oh.
We could do a reroll
I mean,
if
that-
you would like, Virginia, or we can go with
Uh,
sweating stone.
No, go ahead and do a reroll. I think we can have
Okay.
something more impactful than that.
I mean,
Because I know chat likes the drama.
that just
We
makes her
like-
more creepy, and that she's already creepy as
The
it is.
spicy soup here on counter roleplay.
Oh boy, that's a low number. That's
4, 4,
Terrifying.
6. Oh boy. All right. Fremont can
I can't.
detach their head easily, but dies if they do so.
and that's
And this is open to GM interpretation and slight reworking.
oh.
Well, you are a psychic,
Weird.
so
But
I can
died
remember
if I
that.
did. God.
So, do you hand the coin to Karis?
I am going to, before that, I am going to shield, put up Mind Fortress
There you go.
around everyone before we do.
You have
So I'm
enough
just
for
gonna-
Mind Fortress? You have a Psi of 10?
Yeah, yeah,
How
yeah.
dare you?
Yeah, big,
Okay.
big scary stuff, yeah.
You put that up. You hand
Yeah.
Karis the coin. And she takes it, she goes over to Judy. She's like, this coin, the things that I see, there's all these pretty colours, and I think people, but I can't really see them. And there's this metal floor, it makes such a cool noise. Can I try showing you and Grease? I don't know
Judy's
if I
not-
can.
She
I
nods.
don't know how to do it. Grease really wanted to see it, so I'll put it in this hand. She places it in her other hand. And then she closes her eyes, and you see she kind of smiles. She giggles a little bit, and she stamps her feet excitedly. And she opens one eye, reaches out to you, Grease, and puts her finger on your forehead. She does the same to you, Judy, and she's like, looks at you, Grease, like this?
Yeah. And then just push.
She closes her eyes really tight, you know, the way kids scrunch their faces up, and she's pushing against your foreheads a little bit, and you're a little bit sore, Judy. And probably you too, Grease. And she's like, can you see anything yet?
Oh yeah,
opens-
yeah. I see.
She
I
opens
see
one
the,
eye.
The metal floor and the clanky bits.
And
you know what?
she
Try
looks at you.
harder.
She looks to you, Reinhold, as Grease, as you say this, and she kind of nods, and she's like, how do you do it? Because I don't have an extra eye like you, and I guess that really helps, but what if I've got a hidden one?
Do it like this. Just walk over and like grab her by the forehead. And I can actually energize somebody. There's a thing here. Help me out here, Shauna. There's a thing here where I can like give her a ton of what is it?
Oh shoot, yeah.
You energy.
Adrenalize. I think it's like you give them bonuses, but you take
yes.
You take damage
I feel
for every D6.
positive energy. She gets a plus D6 plus whatever, however many I want to spend. Just a physical though.
Oh, is it only physical? Oh, physical attributes.
Can't boost her.
It's fine.
mentally.
I like the idea of it. We're doing it narratively because that's fun.
You know,
Yes.
I can read her. I can do. I can't read her mind. You can read her mind. So you have a psi of 10. So if you're doing mind read, maybe we could all share it. But I charge her up psychically if possible.
Do we want to do that, or do we want to have the Mind Fortress down?
I think it means taking the Mind Fortress down and making ourselves vulnerable to boost her.
Let's do it.
So we can all
do it. Let's
see
do
this.
it. Yeah. So Freon will just kind of.
Gotta see it.
I imagine that you come up behind and place your hands on her shoulders as she's desperately trying. And as you energize and you help expand her mind, Fremont, to do this.
It's like the exercise.
Judy.
Just think through.
And Grease. There's a bolt of blue light. And suddenly you can feel yourself walking on a metal floor. You can smell something that's very similar to what you can smell when Talon cooks her chemicals in the refuge. The blue lights are coming from monitor screens. You recognize this place, especially you, Grease. Judy, you might have seen it once or twice. But Grease, this is an R&D lab. This is an R&D lab somewhere at the Hall of Justice. And you can hear her talking. You can't see each other. She's like, the metal floor, doesn't it sound cool? And all the colors. And you get the feeling as you see all these bright colored bottles on the shelves of chemicals and someone testing something in the corner in flames. And Judy and Grease, as you're looking at these figures, you imagine are judges that are faceless here. One of them starts to focus in more. It's like, who's that? I'm gonna go closer.
Go closer.
And both of you can
Concentrate.
see this figure. And the figure of a small child now kind of appears as you now begin to see her in this strange vision that you're having. And you see the shape of this child look up the direction of this person's chest. And she turns around, and it's odd because they're still kind of shadowy, but you can just make out her features. And it's like she looks at both of you, and she says, "Who's Dashford?" And both Grease and Judy, you recognize this judge. Judy, this is the one you saw being dragged down the corridor in that Phantom episode. Grease, you have seen him before in the R&D labs. He worked there very briefly before being reassigned elsewhere. He worked in chemical research. But you both recognize this man. He's also one of the side judges that went missing. And slowly this fades and the colors dull. And she opens her eyes and she's like, Did I do it? Did you see it? Who's Dashford? I've never seen that one before. I never got to see the details. They're normally so blobby and shadowy. Did you see it too?
Yeah, I totally saw it. Ah, man, now I have a headache.
I have a headache too.
Yeah, you just.
You want a
Talon,
banana?
Easy.
Can I lay down? I want more soup. She kind of comes over to you and sits on your lap and kind of cuddles up. She looks up at you, Talon, and she says, "You smell like that place a little bit. Not bad, just different."
I look over at Grace, and then I look at her and say, "Well, remember we talked about that place? I used to go there. When you get older, you're almost a judge. You'll get to go there too."
And that is probably how you spend the rest of the evening. Her mother comes to join you. Judy, Grease, you're still recovering from the injuries. Fremont, you try to keep up that mind fortress when you have chance to regain your strength.
Mm-hmm.
And you all kind of manage to get a night's sleep. But for some fun descriptive bit before we finish, at some point in the night, a door opens from the bunk room. The sound of movement can be heard as the main door to the refuge clicks open, seemingly on its own, or at least from the outside. And the figure of something small makes its way out. And when you awake in the morning, one of your number is missing. Charisma is heartbroken.
Gently. No.
How dare.
And that's what
No.
we're doing tonight.
Oh, that bitch.
No.
How much did James pay you?
Tetley, no.
I mean, I've still got a crit fail for Tetley waiting here that I haven't used yet.
Shay. It's Shay.
James
She
bought
took him.
James bought Tetley a crit fail.
Oh my god.
My boy.
Oh.
Okay, well, on that note, I'm going to open up a poll right now so that the audience, the wonderful chat who have been here hanging out with us tonight, can vote on who is Judge of the Week. This is usually some sort of fun boon that we get to implement next week. Sometimes it's mechanical benefits, sometimes it's narrative, but either way we love it and it's very important. So that is opening up right now over in chat. This is Judge of the Week. Ba-da-da. Let's go around and speak to all of the players of the week, which is this cast. And let's begin with the wonderful Zippy Zippo. How you doing, friend?
I'm doing great. Hi, I'm Zippy Zippo. I enjoyed this game. I enjoyed being able to get into a fight. Because I like fight. You can catch me on my Twitch stream at the Zippy Zippo. And you can follow me on Twitter at the Zippy Zippo as well.
Awesome! Dropping down, going around the clock. Judge Judy, played by Susanna Grace.
Hey, I apologize again for kicking everyone's butt, but it was fun. And Judy's a beast, but I very much enjoyed it. Can't wait to kick Shay's ass. Hashtag save Tetley. You can find me all over the internet at Susanna Grace. I am a variety streamer who does video games, art streams, and tabletop RPGs. The next time you'll catch me in Encounter will be for the premiere of The Crownlands, and I'm very excited to get started with that game. But yeah.
I mean, technically, the next time we'll see you, we'll be back here on Judge Dredd next Friday.
That's true. Yes.
Where the cases are real and her judgments are final.
Yes, that too.
But also that too. Someone who's always a pleasure to have here on Encounter Roleplay, the wonderful producer Trav.
Hi. Bong bong. That's the Law and Order sound. Hi, I'm this was great. I have written down Virginia, you gotta go back and look at the Virginia's face where she is doing charisma going, will there be soup? That was great. And that part where Fremont was like, we've never stunned before. I'm like, we've burned and shot and stabbed and maimed, but we've never stunned. So this is just a complete fucking hoot, and it got real today, which was great. So I can't wait for next week. I really appreciate the opportunity to play with all these awesome people. Hey, I'm about to go DM an Aliens game on Laugh Level Indies channel in about an hour, and we have a special guest of Grimjack21502 in a cameo role that you won't want to miss. It's some shit. People are gonna die maybe, and you just won't want to miss it. So I'm all amped up. I'm gonna go drink too much coffee, and I'll see you at 8 Central. And thank you, Charlie. I want you to feel better, my dear. Put your feet up.
Thanks,
You've earned it.
Brian. I was about to wiggle my feet, but then I remembered Twitch times of service. Cleric of Cord, always here with soup for our souls and our hearts. How are you doing, friend?
I'm doing all right. This is another great episode. I love these judges. I love Karis. This is a lot of fun. Looking forward to learning more about this. And, I think Talon's the only one so far that has not been touched by Shay, and she kind of likes it that way. Hashtag safe
I'm
that
so
leg.
glad you highlighted that to our GM.
Oh no. I don't think I have either.
Hashtag safe
You know
touch.
what you did.
Talon's head is not a fun place to be in, I'm pretty sure. So, but hi, I'm Kat. I'm at Cleric of Cord, and I like to play games on the internet with my friends. I am back here next Friday again for Judge Dredd. However, this coming Wednesday, head on over to Grimjack's channel for a couple of episodes coming up. The final epilogue for May Black Roses Bloom is got a little surprises in there, maybe, and a couple of other things coming up. So keep an eye out for those. I'll get a pin tweet going as soon as my schedule solidifies, which will hopefully be in the next few weeks because there's some really fun stuff coming along. Thank you again, Virginia, and all my fellow judges for having me. This is always a blast because we are the law.
And bringing the law and the order today, Judge Fremont. Played by Shauna.
Yeah, oh my god, I miss this a lot, and just a lot of drama, and that fight, that little encounter in the elevator was awesome and terrifying. This is great. But yeah, Shauna, Flying Stairs on Twitter. We have art and the games that I play. Next thing you'll see me is probably on actually premiere of Seattle by Streetlight, which is a Chronicles of Darkness game on the Onyx Path, DN by Kikavio. And you know what? Honestly, my character is actually like charisma and has the psychometry, so I can read objects psychically. That should be great. And also check out the this past week the VOD for the Crownlands house roll up. It is a thing. I can't wait to play it. It is going to be wild. And I just watched the after the fire with the tournament, and I am terrified.
Awesome. I am very much looking forward to the Crownlands premiere, which will surprise no one because I am GMing that game. I'm very excited for all of our premieres coming up. But I'm mostly excited because, the ongoing GMing here with Virginia in Freedom Falls will be continuing all through January. And Virginia, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. I enjoyed tonight. I have been waiting to do that end bit since last week when I thought it up. It was watching you. I watched the slight horror when you thought it was the kid, and then when you realized it wasn't the actual horror. I'm so glad that Susie is now joining us for the rest of this kind of mini campaign. We definitely plotted a little bit last week. But I love playing with all of you. You're such an awesome group of people to play with. And thank you to chat for always just inspiring more chaos. I love all of you for that. But yeah, if you want to find more of me, then obviously keep coming back here on a Friday throughout January to see how much more I can torment these wonderful players. You can also find me on my Twitch channel at twitch.tv/tabletopboard, where this Monday I'm doing a follower voted stream. I think everyone voted for me to write a short D&D encounter with chat's help. So that should be fun. And then every Wednesday for 9 p.m. GMT, which is 4 p.m. EST. I could do time zones. I'm doing a casual playthrough of the classic Tomb Raider games on a Wednesday. So you should come and check me out there. It's hilarious. I die a lot, I curse a lot, and I call Lara my wife a lot. So.
But have you put the butler in the fridge?
I'm playing Tomb Raider 1 right now, so no, because that's not a thing. But when I did a couple of streams of Tomb Raider 3, I just locked him in the house for now, because the fridge is a lot of effort. But he creeps me out too. I'm glad it's not just me.
Butler's in 3? I thought the butler was in 2. Yeah.
I think he's in both.
He's in
Yeah,
both.
But it's 3 where you lock him in the fridge.
So, chat has spoken, and Judge of the Week is Judge Judy. We will resolve that before next week and tell you at the start of that episode what that is. Thank you all, chat, for being here. Only to reiterate, thank you for bringing the Chaos Chorus action to the stream, whether it's Wild Magic Surges, donations, or purely your joyful commentary in chat. We appreciate you. If you are watching on YouTube, we appreciate your comments here too, and your likes, and your general being here. We appreciate you very much. So shout out to you guys. We see you, we love you, we appreciate you. And we hope that you will be here tomorrow at 3 p.m. live on twitch.tv/Encounter Roleplay when we play for the first time on Encounter Roleplay. Good Society is going to be the first part of the 2-shot that we're running. Very excited. We have the wonderful Lauren GMing that, or being our facilitator, I should say. And it's a wonderful cast. And there will be drama. There will be Regency action. There will be deception, heartbreak, Misty Moors, and more. So be here for that. Thank you all so much for being here tonight. We will see you very soon. And until then, try not to roll too many nat ones, because we want to be there laughing when you do. Good night, everybody.